Voice. Looks like we've been joined by Rick Ramos and Undisputed Champ Jessica McCaskill is also in the building. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Have a seat. Sorry, interview ran over a little longer than expected. How are you, Champ? Good to see you. Rick, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. So for those living under a rock, this is Rick Ramos, trainer and manager of Jessica McCaskill, and this is the Undisputed Champ. Champ, what's going on? How's Vegas treating you?
I was just about to say I got a little man voice. I had to go through my picture album this morning and see what we got into last week.
Yeah, sorry we're late.
You guys went partying, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Won a little money, had a few drinks, nothing crazy.
That's good. That's always good when you can win. For sure.
Definitely.
So jump into it, Danny.
I want to get into Creed.
Oh, the movie.
Creed 3. You know, obviously they brought you in. I saw you were just in Atlanta filming, you know, down there with Michael B. Jordan and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk to us about not just that experience, but how that came about.
Absolutely.
Was that a Rick thing? Was that an Eddie Hearn thing? Like, what was it?
Everything in my career is always a Rick thing. Like, nobody's really pushing for me to do anything major outside of Rick. So, you know, everybody has to call him. Don't nobody call me. His information is on my Instagram. He's my manager. He gets paid to do that job. So you try to contact me, I'm gonna keep you on red and just be like, but because I just don't deal with other people like that. You know, it's not my job. So Rick got some phone calls and he asked me what I thought, and we negotiated prices and things, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So the experience was really cool. Everybody was really nice, just very into like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? Like, how are you feeling? Not just like, go over here, do this, we'll be back. You know, it's just like, I as soon as I stepped on set and got to my trailer, they were like, so what's your breakfast order? And I was like, oh, word? Like,
That's
cheese
right.
quesadilla, please? Like, it was really cool. So got my own trailer, got to just hang out with everybody, hair and makeup, wardrobe. Everybody was so nice. Got to the set and they just basically had this like huge warehouse, and it had a boxing ring set up inside, and then they had all the lights and everything, and they had the extras, you know, in the background, because you know they can't make noise, so they like and so it's kind of, if you've never seen that before, it's kind of weird. But and then it was me and Todd Grisham were the two announcers for that specific fight, and Michael B. Jordan was just like super cool. Like, he came and like laid on the ring and was like, yeah, so, you know, just, I like what you said about this. Like, run that a couple more times and, you know, just how you feel. Just do whatever you want. I'm just like, all right, let's do it. So
they let you ad lib?
Yeah, they gave us script and they gave us storyboards, and they actually did a video with the choreographers of what it was gonna look like the shots, everything. It wasn't like, you know, somebody was holding the phone. They went through all of the pans and zoom in, zoom outs and everything. So on the plane, I'm trying to like run my lines like with the video, and he's like, "Oh no, that was just kind of like a sample. Like we'll plug and play where we need to, but you know, just do you, just say whatever you want to say." And I'm just like, okay, so it was good.
It's funny because, you know, I spoke to you yesterday, and obviously they brought you in to do the commentating. You know, your role in Creed 3, but it was funny because this was brought up yesterday. Somebody commented Jessica plays Drago's daughter and fights, you know, Creed's daughter, Donna's basically,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Michael B. Jordan's character. Yeah. Any chance that we see you back, you know, maybe as a fighter, not just a commentator?
I think the idea there is that I never want to play another fighter, but when Rick gets the right people on the phone and they do my life story, then that will be the movie that I'm either, you know, helping produce or I'm starring in for me as a fighter. So I don't really want to play somebody else. It'll be me. I'll play myself.
That's pretty big.
Interesting.
That's pretty big, right? When you talk about obviously the Rocky series and the Creed series, you know, seeing names like Tony Bellew and seeing names like Gabe Rosado, Andre Ward, Stitch Duran, who I know has worked your corner as a cut man. What was that feeling like when you got like the confirmation? Obviously, talks are always talks, and I'm sure you had an idea of what was going on leading up to it. But what was it like to get that confirmation? Like, wow, I get to say I did this, which only some of the greats have done.
It was definitely cool. And sometimes you go into things very like blinders, like I'm working, I'm here for this, and I'm gonna do this, because sometimes people try to distract you, or sometimes people try to reel you into like some side pocket type stuff, or so it's just like I was kind of going in with blinders. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna execute it, and I ain't gonna embarrass nobody. And then in the makeup trailer I see Stitch, and it's like, oh, what's up, and he's always so nice to see. And so then it kind of got to be like kind of like a family thing. That's kind of the vibe that it felt like. But the overall of like being in Creed, like I remember when I think we went to like a pre-show of either the first or the second one.
Yeah, I think the first one.
And so it was very much just like, oh, we're getting to see this like thing together, and now it's gonna be like legit. So the part that I play is at the beginning of the movie. So Rick is like, we're gonna go back to your hometown where you used to work at that movie theater, and we're gonna buy out the movie, and just all of our people are gonna go. And as soon as my 8 seconds is over, I'm like, hey, that's it. Y'all go home. There's nothing else to see here. So
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So Rick, talk to us, man. First of all, thank you guys for being in studio so early.
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, I want to jump in and ask him the same question we asked Vic Green, because again, you're another young guy doing.
He ain't that young. He ain't that young.
Let the put 2 youngs on it.
Don't interrupt them.
I mean, honestly, he looks young enough, and I'm sure you're inspiring people out there, and you've been able to come into this boxing game and really become a player, especially for women's boxing, and you've taken Jessica McCaskill to heights that I'm sure people didn't expect. So, yeah, I want to know how you got into it, and what, I guess, advice would you give anyone on the outside looking in, trying to be in your position?
I definitely first of all, thank you, and second of all, like, the new studio is dope.
Thank you.
But no, I honestly think like we live by the term like no days off. We take every single interview, no matter, we still do kind of, and we took from the people who are doing news channels with 5 followers to 5 million followers. So we took everything in between, and I think just her name got out there, my name got out there. We kept pushing, and I would say my biggest form of advice is like build your social media, and the other thing is like surround yourself with good people and understand what you're signing, because I'm gonna do a YouTube just explaining contracts, because I think I'm trying to sign a ton of fighters, and I put a lot of contracts out in the last couple of weeks, and I don't think any of the male or females understand the contracts. So like, I think I need to do a YouTube explaining how contracts work. I'll probably get crucified for this, but the contracts are not the best that are out there. But so Jessica kind of started off with, with all due respect to her, not the best deal in the world, because we didn't know if female boxing was going to take off or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. But Jessica like blew through her numbers, obviously, and the minimums were never even touched. She was just on another platform. But understand what you're signing, build your social media, and surround yourself with good people. And if the fighters, guys or girls, it doesn't even have to be girls, guys or girls, like if you are uncomfortable in a situation, just say no. Just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, don't take a fight that you can't win. Don't take a fight where the odds are 80-20 against you. Try to hit the 50-50 mark as your riskiest fight. And you always have a chance, and you're always in the game. And
so did you think that first Katy Taylor fight was 50-50 going into it?
No, 100% not. But that's not it. Like, here's how I did it. And we talk about this all the time. Like, I took the fight. First things first, I'm like, us getting the fight, it was 80-20 against. So I was running my mouth, Jess was running her mouth, and then we got it. So now that was complete, right? So we flipped that. So next, I'm like, fuck. Okay, it's probably 70-30 going in, like day one when we signed the contract. I'm thinking 70-30, but it's my job to get it 50-50, right? So now after workouts, getting the right sparring, seeing how she looks, now it's 60-40, and we're getting close to the fight 2-3 weeks out. We get to London, and Jessica's feeling good. She's not nervous. She's like ready for battle. Everything's just started going our way. We didn't feel intimidated by the promotion over there. I don't know, everything seemed right. I know her trainer is, in my opinion, not the smartest guy in the world. I don't think he knows more about boxing than I do. So I'm like, man, it's 50-50. 2 days.
You talking about Ross trainer?
Yeah.
Coach Ross?
Yeah, Ross Edelman. Yeah. I just don't think he's I don't think Katy Taylor has improved at all. I think she's still the same fighter that we fought the first time. Like, I mean, and I think her decisions are getting closer to barely winning. You know, majority decisions, split decisions, whatever.
So you're picking Serrano.
I'll get to that in a second. No, but I just think, so the night of the fight, we were 50-50. And, you know, the game plan was kind of like rattle her, hit her after the bell, push her, you know, things like that to rattle her. So if you go back and you look at that fight, we got a point taken away. I thought the fight was a lot closer. Tony Bellew scored at a draw. You know, I'm not saying we won the fight, but I think the fight was a lot closer than they scored at 8-2. That was, like, disrespectful. But,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think it's going into a fight, if you can get a fight 50-50 at any point, get it there as close as you can, you know, and then you have, you know, pretty good chance, you know. A 50-50 chance against a marquee fighter and you're getting paid well is not that bad, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I looked at it.
So, so just to recap, you're saying you've basically lived off experience. You know, coming into the game, you didn't know much, and at this point, you feel like a seasoned vet.
No, I don't. I mean,
No.
I'm learning still because, I mean, fuck, man, like, they're all trying to fucking rob me every day. I mean, like, for real, like, you know, I just, you know, I can't talk too much about it, honestly, because I feel like, you know, people threaten to sue me, because I'll tell you the truth. Like, I'm out here like Prince. I'm out here like Michael Jackson giving you the truth, like Kanye West, you know what I mean? And people don't want, like, the higher ups, the people who write the contracts, they don't want me out here spilling the beans. When I do this YouTube thing about the contracts, people are going to go crazy.
But won't that close doors possibly?
I don't give a fuck, like, because no one's closing doors on me. Meaning, like, I have the capital and I have the relationships to do my own thing. I mean, we got here on our own. We still have a promoter, and you know what I'm saying? We have a promoter. Do we have a promoter? I mean, I promote Jessica more than our promoters. I promote Jessica more than anybody, right? Think about it. So we're still on our own, you know? So I definitely feel like, you know, I think I would, if I had a younger star like Summer Lynn, let's say, I would do it dramatically different now. And I think, like, I'm in a position to work with new people.
But you are doing it differently with her, right? Did you not shop her to the zone? Because I hear she's with Fight Stars.
She just signed with Fight Stars, so that is public. So shout out to Summer Lynn, shout out to Fight Stars. We just signed like a week ago. I did shop her to Matchroom, and for whatever reason, you know, they wanted us to take another hard fight, kind of like Jess. They wanted us, in my opinion, to take a hard fight that I don't think, it was a 50-50 fight. Matchroom wanted us to fight Sandy Ryan, right? So a lot of people would say she's not ready for a fight like that, but, you know, Summer's been sparring with Jessica since she was 12 years old. So I definitely think she's tough enough. She's been fighting since she was about 7 years old in combat sports, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. So, you know, she's definitely not afraid, but we're going to do things a lot different with Summer. So I'm excited for that.
And by different, you mean developing her?
100%. Like, you know, try to get her different opportunities, you know, take our time, pick the right people, like really, really take our time, really, really build the profile of a star. You know, I mean, if you look at, I mean, if they put money into Jess should be an icon by now. You know, she was a 140-pound world champion, undisputed, you know, a welterweight champion. I mean, she's already done in 13 fights, 26 amateur fights?
Yeah.
I mean, you've become undisputed faster than Katy Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, Katy's got a gold medal. I mean, think about that. She has more belts than Katy Taylor. No one talks about that. You know what I mean? So I do get mad when, you know, people talk about Jazz, just because it's like, man, she's done everything in a faster pace. I mean, Clarissa Shields got a gold medal. Katy's got a gold medal. Justin have a gold medal. She did this with 26 amateur fights. That's good management. That's good training. That's hard work. That's toughness. It's everything, you know?
Yeah, most of these girls have more amateur fights than I have all together, pro and amateur put together. And just because of my age and coming into boxing so late, yeah, we went on a super fast pace. So there's no reason for Summer to have to do that. She's young. She has time. You know, so there's going to be a difference. It's almost like I went through what I went through so that other people don't have to. So it's definitely going to be different, but still calculated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in meetings like screaming, you know what I mean? Like, Summer's gonna be the next superstar, you know, and everyone's like, oh, here we go. Like, this fuck, they're not even like listening to me anymore. You know, maybe my delivery is too aggressive or whatever, but I just feel like Summer's gonna be a star. I mean, sometimes I look at the people, other people sign.
But why? Why is she gonna be a star?
I just think she's tough. I think she's been in the gym. She's tough. She's knocking people out. She's making dudes throw up, knocking guys out. Guys, I'm telling you the same thing that Jess did. And I was like preaching it. Jess doesn't even spar with chicks anymore. It's crazy. Like, I've been telling people, like, I mean, Danny knows, but my training methods, my amateurs are sparring. I mean, training 3 times a day. Girls with no fights yet. You know what I mean? I have a girl, Brandy Robinson. She's going to turn pro in May. She has 4 amateur fights. She will destroy Christina Cruz. Destroy her in 2 rounds. I'm telling you, wait till you see my girls. You know, I bring my girls to amateur shows, and they're like, what do you feed your girls? Fucking gunpowder? Like, they're just explosive.
Let me tell you, yesterday I got to see, and it wasn't my first time, but I got to see Summerlin spar. And for those who don't know, Summerlin is a welterweight, 6-0, 6-0, 3 knockouts.
Man, you moved it quick.
6-0, 3 knockouts.
That was during the pandemic, basically.
I know.
I don't think he
remember.
moved
I've been following her.
He just stayed busy. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And Ness, you would have loved that spar. This shit was bloody. Bloody sparring.
All the dudes in the gym.
Slick.
All
Yo,
the dudes in the gym were watching.
Barthelemy on the side. Mind you, he fights this weekend. He's on the side like, yo, who is that? They called me over. Like, what's her name? What's her record? And very slick. A lot of hit, not get hit. And, you know, I really see a bright future for her. Obviously, I've been familiar with her for some years now. BoxRec has her in the top 10. I know she's ranked in the WBA as well.
IBO, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to see what comes of that, because at 6-0 already, you know, definitely impressed. Speaking of Summerlin, though, do we have like a date, maybe something in the works for her?
As far as the next
fight, yeah.
Actually, me and Fight Stars is working on it now. It should probably be either here in Vegas or California next fight, April. Looks like the end of April. We just got to pick a date, but it looks like the end of April here in Las Vegas or at the very least maybe California.
You're doing the show?
Me, no. Fight Stars look like we're going to do our first show, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You got me announcing all this shit. I don't even think I was supposed to say anything. Shout out to Fight Stars.
Well, you know, since we are
I mean, it's family.
announcing it,
I'm probably gonna be commentating it shit because we're doing a Fight Stars tomorrow.
Oh, right.
The one from Mexico.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. Which part of Mexico?
They're doing it in Guadalajara. We're doing the live commentary, so the blow
nice.
by blow.
That's dope.
So you got any tips for us, champ? You just got off set.
No, you the movie star now.
Right.
Like doing actual commentary. Like, are you guys gonna be live there?
No, we're gonna be in studio because it's remote. Yeah.
Like some of the wildest junk ever when we were in Fresno, and that Brock, is that his name? Brock, the guy from Australia. He was like banging, right? And they're up against the ropes where we were as commentators, and it's like you basically need an umbrella because sweat and all type of crap just, and you like, yeah, and he's taking the hits, and you know. But I think the thing that boxing fans look for is just, you know, that little knowledge, like the little, like, because sometimes people say the same thing and they like, it's like barber shop talk, you know, you say something and then somebody's gonna say this and then somebody's gonna come back with this. But when you come in with that little bit of knowledge that people don't really think about, like the real boxing fans will be like, oh man, yeah, they know what they're talking about, you know. And me as a boxer, like I see things differently, so I get a lot of love when I just kind of like say it how I see it, you know. So
Champ, I gotta ask, or I gotta talk. I'm looking at your hands, and you have to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Your hands are fucking big.
yeah.
I've been dying to just. I need to put.
Yeah.
Give me a shot of this,
Her hands are like swole.
bro. They're huge, bro. I've been just looking at them like.
Keep in mind, Ness is 6'4".
I'm 6'5".
6'5".
I'm 250.
Yeah.
Bro, your hands are huge. Now I see why you fight the way you fight.
Speaking of hands.
Yeah, speaking of hands, I see
See the
that,
ring. I seen that too.
No. Nah, I ain't forget the ring. I'm looking at that Rolex.
Oh.
What you got there?
It's an old one.
Danny's into the quality
curious.
watches. I'm into the gossip. I see the matching rings. You guys, did you guys do something while you was in Vegas?
What are you talking about?
These matches?
Championship ring.
The black ones.
No, we haven't done anything official. How did you say it the other day on the other podcast? It was so elegant.
Well, first of all, we came out here, everybody started talking about these rings. Everyone was talking about the Undisputed rings, but
yeah.
no,
because everybody sees those black rings. They're like, hold up, did they get a quick one off?
Vegas. It is Vegas.
I know. Yeah. Did you guys elope?
Not yet.
That's
Soon.
good. No, take your time, man. You know.
What was the thing you said about practice?
Oh, yeah.
You don't just like hop into something, you know, you take it and
We see how it feels. And,
take it for a walk
yeah.
and, you know. That's all.
That's
good. That's good.
But this I got after one of my fights. I don't know.
Maybe the first Cecilia fight.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cecilia for getting the team Rolexes.
Just something to like invest.
You got yours on, Rick?
No,
not
okay.
Yeah, just Rick is always talking about investing and you can always buy sell Rolexes, so and they can go up in value, and so why not
It's
invest
up like
in something
50% that Rolex already.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, 50% already.
yeah, because I'm we over here wearing rubber rings. Like I'm not really the flossy type, but I take pride in like my wins, which this is when I won the first WBC. This is the Undisputed ring that we got made, so I'm definitely gonna rock these. And then this was literally an investment that I'm not gonna just sit up in a box because you don't wear them, they don't work. So
Yeah, you know what? And that's what they used to do that back in the day, where like the sanctioning bodies used to have like a championship ring.
Yeah, no, they'd still give them out. I know the WBO gives them out.
Yeah.
WBC gives you a watch, and for some of the trainers get the
I got
the trainer's belt.
Yeah, I got the trainer's
Yeah.
belt. But like, when we try to carry a 6 belts around, I mean, it's 8 belts around.
technically,
Yeah, it's like
9
fucking 80
technically.
pounds. Shit.
Looks-
The thing is,
Aesthetically, it looks better.
I don't carry them because he carries them for me. So.
Man.
You should have carried them in here. We needed those in studio today. Aesthetically, it looks better for the champ to have all her belts.
Did you guys bring them to Vegas?
No,
we
it
didn't
didn't.
bring. It's a
Yo, it's
pain in the-
extra luggage. I
Yeah,
bet.
man,
I bet it's a briefcase. I mean, a luggage in its own.
Yeah, that's why I think they should bring like championship. We made these ourselves. You know, you can check it out if you want. But like we made these ourselves, and we thought it was important to kind of show what we did without having to carry the belts around. But,
Trav, can you
know?
zoom on that or what? Let's see how good the studio is.
yeah, it's dope.
Nice.
We designed them ourselves, had them made ourselves.
Hey, Trav, get the diamond tester out.
Yeah, right. Shit.
Yo, the detail on that's badass.
So I also want to ask, are you guys going to stay in Chicago or have you relocated?
I'm not a relocated type of dude.
Really?
Yeah,
You're going to stay in that cold, Rick?
Yeah, I mean for now, anyways.
What's for now? How many? I'm just a very warm-blooded guy. I moved from Jersey to Florida because I can't stand the cold, and now they bringing me out here. It's freezing in Vegas.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
cold.
right? You brought the coat with you.
I know, it's crazy.
No, I think we were talking about that yesterday. Like, I think we'll end up in like Scottsdale, Arizona, somewhere at some point, maybe in a few years. My mom is still healthy and well, and I want to make sure, like, I don't want to drag her all over the United States with me. So I want to make sure my mom's good. Got to make sure Jess' mom's good.
Same.
They're both. My mom's retired. Her mom's about to retire. So as long as they're both good and they're both here,
And
with
they're
us-
both in Chicago?
Yeah. So Illinois.
Yeah, I
her
guess it
mom's
makes it
Yeah,
harder.
Illinois.
Yeah, because we can't leave him so. Yeah,
I mean,
we'll probably
honestly,
end up out there.
we just
is
left.
that a dog?
Is that a dog barking?
Somebody better feed that dog.
Oh, wow.
That dog.
I mean, we just left Atlanta. Now we're here in Vegas, so it's not like we're home all the time. Not
Yeah,
anymore.
I mean the last 3 weeks last week and a half we were in Iowa, Atlanta, and now in
St.
Vegas.
Louis. We were in
Oh,
St. Louis
too. Yeah, so we've been running around, but I think I don't know. I like to bring the stars back to Chicago. Like I'm a Chicago kid, born and raised in the city. Like I would love to bring big names back to Chicago. If I was to train Teofimo Lopez for free, or if I was to train Anthony Joshua for free, I'd like to bring him to Chicago, and that would be dope. But
You think you can get along with his dad?
I don't care about his dad. You know what I mean?
But
I know
his
what
dad
you're
is
saying.
going to be there. I mean, I just seen an interview where he's like, "Oh, we'll let Reynoso be the trainer, but I'm still the head trainer."
That's not gonna last long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's just a matter of like, let's just say if they called me, right? Like I would just take the dad out. Like Teofimo is obviously he's talented. I love the kid. I think that me and the dad, let's just go grab a beer, man. Just talk. Tell me, like, let it off your chest. Like obviously he has a chip on his shoulder about something in the boxing world, or maybe about a lot of things. Let him talk. Let's see if I can fix that somehow, or at least like calm that down. And if I couldn't, then I'd be like, I'm not gonna engage. You know what I mean? So, we're in a position to do a lot of stuff for free, and meaning for free is like,
You don't need the money.
yeah. So I think when you don't need the money and you can make moves, like you're doing very well. Like you didn't have to come here, but you see like the potential, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you've always done well, so you don't need to be here either. But you guys see the potential, see the opportunity. You didn't have to do it, but you're like, man, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my thing. Same thing with me. So it's like it's beautiful. You know how it is. You wake up,
Absolutely.
it's fucking great feeling.
I got
Amazing.
I gotta ask, and I'm gonna start with Rick because Rick is a character. I have to ask.
Oh man.
I don't remember what exact telecast I saw it on. I know it was on the social media as well, but there was a DAZN video where Katy Taylor listed like her top 5 women fighters, and you know the former unified super lightweight, the current undisputed welterweight champion of the world, wasn't a part of her top 5.
Who was the 5?
I don't even know.
The
Oh,
top,
like
I tell
Caleb-
you, the
oh,
people
yeah.
that she doesn't have to fight, the people that are like,
Yeah.
you know, at a lighter weight, or people that, you know, she's trying to be besties with, like,
Michaela Mayer, Clarissa, Amanda, just in case if she loses, and who else was it?
I know-
maybe Sinise was
Yeah, Sinisa. Sinisa's bad. I love Sinisa.
And I know
Sinisa's
Baumgartner, Alicia Baumgartner was on that list
Yeah,
as well.
I like Alicia Baumgarten too.
That's a good fight.
But what'd you make of the list? I mean, to me, it was just a little interesting, right? Because I'm not a fighter, but if I was a fighter and I beat a 2-division
Yeah.
champion, a current undisputed champion, I would want to have her on my top, you know, on my list, because that just makes my win look that much better, right? What were your thoughts on that? That was a little
Well, first of all, it's like I'm not surprised. You know, I've had conversations with people in her circle where they said, "Oh, Katy don't like you or Jess because she doesn't like the way that you guys got to this point, right?" And that's
What's that mean though?
that's like
How did you get to this point? I
I
thought
think,
it was
like maybe calling her out, and then we got
Oh.
that fight. You know, made a name for ourselves, and then just beat Cecilia Breakhouse, whatever. You know, and I knew that going into
I think you could use a little pick me up.
box rec,
sorry.
box rec ads. Sorry.
But no, so like I wasn't surprised by her comment. I know that Katy Taylor's a hater. You know, so first off, like they posted that video, right? So I went bonkers. So I shared it and I said, "See, I wanted the public to see that Katy Taylor is a hater, and she hates on Jess, you know, for whatever reason, right? Because everyone's trying to pretend like she's a princess, whatever." So I went bonkers. I shared it, and then DAZN deleted it. They deleted it, and then you know I get calls from people like, "Rick, watch your mouth, like you're disrespecting Katy," and I'm just like, "Man, fuck Katy." You know what I mean? This is a business, and like, you know, I'm trying to like, I don't care, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're always gonna make it. You know what I mean? No matter what, no matter who, and like you, if you're Matchroom, if you don't like me, then he might like me. Or if you're a golden boy, you might not like me, but you might like me. So there's always people
But
that
the zone is heavily invested in women's boxing like no other network
No.
or, you know, promoter.
Okay, but
they're
what-
heavily
what-
invested in Katy.
right, and the names that they want.
That is true because they let Savannah Marshall go. I never understood why they let Marshall go.
You know, I don't really understand a lot of things, but I also think that, you know, the zone is awesome. They've treated us really well as far as like opportunity wise, but you know, there's other things that necessarily like I can't really speak on because, you know, I don't want people calling me and shit, you know, but you know, I don't know. I think ultimately, like if you look at all the Americans signed in female boxing, right? They had to take, like, she had to beat Cecilia. She was an underdog. Baumgartner had to beat Terry Harper. Amanda's not signed by Matchroom, I don't believe. So it's like,
But they wanted her. She was signed and she had to fight Katy, but that never happened. Remember, it was the sister first and then her, and whatever happened.
Now she's with Jake Paul, right?
Yeah,
With
now
MVP.
she's with MVP.
shout out to Jake Paul, give me a call. So no, but I'm saying like I just think like for whatever reason the Americans seem to have to work a little bit harder, and we have to win an upset to get signed, and you know I don't really, that bothers me a little bit. So
Since we brought up Serrano and Taylor in that fight, April the 30th in the Garden, you know, that's a little over 2 months out. You guys haven't fought since December. I mean, that's a 5.5 month turnaround, but is there any talks, or have you guys tried to get on that card? I mean, I know Franchon Cruz is on the card for Undisputed at super middle. Wouldn't it make sense to get a former rival of Katy's and, you know, the current undisputed welterweight champ of the world on that card?
listen, it's 7:30 in the morning. You're gonna get me all fucking charged up. You know
What?
what?
Yo, you need some coffee?
To be
we can make
fair-
you some
Man.
coffee to get you
To
a double
be-
shot of espresso. We want you nitro status over here. Let's go.
To be fair, though, it's 9:30 in Chicago, so it ain't that early.
No, that's true. 9:30 Chicago.
good.
No, I just think like I was told we were supposed to be on it, and then things changed, and you know, I was upset, and you know, I don't even know where it is right now, but right now it looks like Jess is gonna commentate the Katy Taylor Serrano fight. Yeah, that's really all I
What do you
can
mean
say.
things changed? I mean, hold on. Like, we got over
Like-
2 months for the fight.
I was told we were supposed to be on that show.
Okay.
And then for whatever reason, things didn't work out. For whatever reason, I still it's unclear to me. But we were offered a Chantel Cameron fight, and
At what weight?
Again, I don't know if I can disclose deals. Like I
Okay.
don't want to, whatever.
Okay.
But I will say that the weight was a weight that I felt a bit, disrespected. So
Oh wow. So
So-
you guys weren't putting the weight restriction.
nah.
So what he's
So you're
saying,
not even being treated as the champion.
So
you said it, Ness.
Damn, you should have put the camera on.
No, for real.
McCaskill.
No,
so what he's saying, what he's saying for
just
saying for the
saying-
people in the chat that don't understand, he's saying, mind you, Cameron's champion at 140, a division that Jessica's already unified in.
She got my belt. She has my WBC
yeah,
belt.
vacant.
So what Rick is saying that they offered the Chantel Cameron fight at a catch weight. So basically,
No catchweight, 140.
no,
Catch weight for my belts.
for her belts.
Wow.
That's when he said that he felt disrespected. It got to be a catch weight.
Yeah, I
There's-
didn't like the weight proposal.
There's
It
no
made no
reason.
sense to me. So
Yeah.
I want to explain to all the.
But-
Go ahead.
But the catchweight would be on.
They wanted us to give up weight.
Oh wow.
So you know what I'm saying. So for the people who don't know. Okay, so when I don't really necessarily. I think Jessica's a 145 pounder, right? Like for real at heart, right? But there are girls I don't like 147 that much, and I think we should go down to 140, right? So I was told well, you don't want to fight Jessica at 147, so why don't you take catch weight smaller, right? So my response is, no. Well, we would fight someone like Chantel at 147, but we would fight someone like Clarissa at 145. We would fight Hannah Rankin at 150. Do you see what I'm saying? Only
depends on
boxing
the
heads
woman.
know. Yeah, only boxing heads know. Like I don't think Hannah Rankin's a big puncher. So for Jessica to fight for Hannah Rankin's belts at 154, we'll take a catch weight at 150 because I don't think she's a big puncher, right? With Savannah Marshall make 158 or 154, I don't think that's a good fight for Jess at 154, right? So it's just if you know boxing and you know the weights, and you know how people punch, we want to take Clarissa down as low as we can, so we'll take her down to 145.
That's interesting though,
see what I'm
because
saying?
you've had a lot to say about Clarissa. So why you want to suck her down?
Well, because I know she can. I'm not even sure she can make 147. You see how bad she look at 158?
But then that means you're not getting the best version of her. So doesn't
That's-
that water down Jessica's win?
But that's how boxing works. Remember how he was saying you got to get it to 50-50, whatever. That's
my
one
play.
component to get it
That's
to.
my play.
So-
the champion should never give up weight.
Cecilia
Bra-
did.
So why
Cecilia
would
did.
the quote in her mind? You know how she is.
Well, because
she's not gonna give
I'll
up
tell you
weight
why.
for y'all.
Because if she's so, she's so arrogant, her ego will get the best of her. She'll I'll come down to 145. We'll come down to 145 and get beat. And then she'll be like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And then she's gonna get beat, and I'm gonna be like, I told you we beat her on the scale before the fight started. Like Cecilia Breakhouse, when they called me and offered 140, or they offered us the 144 the first time, I passed. And then I knew they weren't gonna. That fight might not come back around. So I said, "Hey, ask Cecilia Breakhouse if she'll fight Jess at 145." And Eddie Hearn was like, "Oh, I don't think they'll do it." I'm like, "Just to see what they say." And Tom Loeffler said, "Yeah, we'll do the fight." As soon as the champion gave up 2 pounds to us, I was like, "We got her." That was 30% of the battle in my head. I'm like, "All right, cool." Now the fight's I didn't think she could make 145, and it looked like she struggled.
She
a bit.
did. We were in Oklahoma in August. It was hot, and she was out there with plastic on. And I'm like, dang, she was on the DAZN, hey, let's see what the fighters are doing, and she's in plastic and it's hot. And
With
I'm
a
like,
hood.
yeah, and I'm like, to me, it's that's a visual you don't want to give somebody else. It's almost like when you watch somebody do mitts, and it's okay, that's what their timing looks like, whatever. And eventually you get to a point where, you just got to do what you got to do, and people are going to see you. But if I had to cut weight like that, I'd fake the funk on camera and then get in my room and sit in that hot tub and, do it in the privacy of my own whatever. But she was out there on camera with the plastic. I'm like, yo, she can't make weight.
Right? And we were so excited when we saw that.
The fuel right there.
Right? It's all mind games, Whether or not it's true, it's almost irrelevant. Right?
It is because we don't necessarily know if she couldn't make weight. If
Right.
that's just the routine.
But that helped us build a little confidence that we needed to get over the hump. That's it.
So what did you guys think of that Cameron fight with McGee?
I thought, I actually thought Chantel Cameron boxed better. I thought Chantel Cameron was going to come in and blast out. She didn't do that. She actually boxed better than I thought. She didn't really engage with Mary. It was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it was a decent fight. It kind of turned out the way I thought. Like I've been saying it was going to turn out. I think it was 9 rounds to 1.
Really? That's how you scored it?
No, that's what it was. No, that's not what I scored. I scored it 7-3.
We're talking about Mary McGee, right?
Against
The tall
Chantel Cameron.
Man, did you see it 9-1 too?
No, I didn't see it that way. Wasn't it scored that way?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
7-3.
I never watched boxing with the TV on. It's been years.
I think they scored it like 9-1. It was like crazy, but
We're gonna check.
I had it like 7-3.
To hear it with TV is I would go back like not live. If I watch your fight live, I don't have the commentators on.
One judge had it 10-zip.
Yeah.
One judge had it 9.
Bro, did you guys watch that fight?
Yeah.
That wasn't no 10-0 fight.
Because Mary's from the Chicago area, so I wanted to see what she would do outside of Chicago.
She actually shocked me. She did better than what I expected. For her record, you know what I mean?
So one judge 10-zip, one judge 9-1, one judge 9-1 with the 10-10 round.
Yeah, see.
I didn't see it that wide.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They didn't give her any.
I didn't see it. Maybe I saw maybe 8-2, 7-3, but Chantel did a lot better than I thought. I don't know. But she couldn't handle. I don't think Chantel could handle like the choke of Jessica. Like Jessica will come for you. All 2 minutes, all 10 rounds.
Well,
it's a lot to deal with.
What was it like? I'm just curious because you just brought up how in that first Cecilia fight, her weight cut. That fight was in Oklahoma,
outside,
in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
A very unique. That was Matchroom's first card since the pandemic here in the States. What was that experience like? To be fighting like outside, because for me, I used to play football. Playing on certain fields was different, especially bigger fields. The background is kind of like a different perspective. Like you're kind of looking at things differently. I was just curious to see, what was that like for you? That was your first outdoor fight as well, right?
Yeah.
First outdoor fight, and it's not in a venue. It's in a street.
In the street, yeah.
An intersection.
It was pretty crazy. And so whenever we have like fights, we'll have our phone set up on Dazn and we'll be watching what's going on out there. So we see like the cut mans and like at the beginning of the very beginning of the card, and then like as the rounds go on, their whole back is like sweated out, and I'm just like, all right, it's gonna be hot out there. Like I'm from the Midwest though, and so we outside playing no matter what. But it's just like knowledge that you put in your head and you don't let it like freak you out. And then we get out there. They actually were gonna switch us to go, I think, a fight earlier because there were thunderstorms headed in, and it didn't end up happening. We went when we were supposed to go. But I think there was a slight cold front that came in because we're on like, the street that, it's like the heat comes down and then it's beating back up at you. So you getting like a double whammy. But a cold front came in and like dropped like maybe 10 degrees. So it was maybe like 80 something when we were out there. So that kind of helped. But I mean, honestly, I just kind of go in and like shut everything else out and just try to be smart about it.
Can I ask real quick?
Go ahead.
Has the Katy rematch ever been offered?
It's been dangling. I've been in, man. Listen.
Like she's talking about it right now. She's like, after Serrano, I want McCaskill. And it's like, okay, is that the flavor of the week again? Because, we were supposed to do this 4-woman tournament. I was supposed to fight Cecilia. Right. She was supposed to fight Amanda, but then Amanda dropped out. Delphine got put in. Katy lost that fight, but they gave it to her. And then I fought Cecilia and won. And then we were supposed to head up. And then it just like fizzled out. They deleted that junk. So that went nowhere. And then every once in a while, she'll say, yeah, I want the best. I want McCaskill in like interviews. And it's like, she talking mad shit. Like, if you wanted it, you would have the contract. Like, put it out there.
Do you guys feel that you need to do the same thing as the first fight? The way that you got the first fight?
I guess it depends on the weight. If we can make that fight at 144, 145 for our belts, Katy Taylor, let us pick the location, not in the UK. And I think we rough her up. I think this is...
But isn't it more money in the UK?
It is and it isn't. I mean, I think... And
for women's boxing, isn't it a bigger fight? Like you'll physically have more people cheering against you or for you.
But they show up. Most likely it'll be somewhere where there's like an international airport and people will show up for Katy. So it's like, let them travel, let them come over here.
So New York.
Nah, I don't even like New York. No offense. I just don't like. I don't.
I hate
That's
New
still
York.
a comfort zone for her.
I
That's
don't-
still a
yeah,
comfort
that's
zone.
still her like second home, New York. So I'm not even with New York. Like I would rather.
Wait,
do,
isn't her training from Connecticut though?
yeah, upstate New York, right? Is he-
I thought he was from Connecticut.
Yeah,
he's from Connecticut, I think.
He's from Connecticut. He is.
yeah. So I mean, I just don't like New York, but that's her second home with regards to like.
So you're saying
Fighting,
Vegas?
Vegas is dope. West Coast would be ideal, but you know they won't
LA.
do that. Yeah, I would do that. But, you know they ain't gonna do that.
What?
Yeah, I think it's just hard to travel for them to get to Cali from the UK. It's like a layover or more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't you want the fans? Don't you need the tickets?
I want to win. I listen, if again, and I say this as respectfully as I can, like we've never done anything for money. You see what I'm saying? So like we want to win. And if we beat Katy Taylor, you ain't never getting a rematch. That's it. And you're gonna end your career.
Why would you say never when it'll be 1-1? You need that third one.
Well, I don't want you ain't never getting a rematch. I'll say it again, Call whoever you got.
I love Rick.
Like,
That's how you negotiate.
Hell yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, whatever. Like I would love to take give Katy her first loss and let her like sweat it out, let her not sleep for 3 months to figure out what she's gonna do next. You know what I mean? And that would be amazing for me.
Yeah, man. She's being hit more and more.
Yeah. And I think if I mean, let's talk about that, right? Like who do you like? Who do you like, Katy versus Serrano?
Uh
A year ago, you'd say
Serrano gets hit a lot too, but she's hitting hard. So I don't know if she's, giving, taking to give, kind of like you. I don't know. We got to see how that's going to look now versus Katy. But yeah, I'm leaning towards Serrano because I feel like Katy's just been consistently showing a slight decline, I guess. Or like you said, if decline is the wrong word,
Vulnerability.
Well, no improvement.
She's stagnant.
right. Like if you
No
look at the
improvement.
last 3 fights, majority decision. Barely like 3 judges scored 6 for her. They're just before it was Katy win 10 rounds, 8 rounds, and blah blah. And they keep saying, well, she's fighting harder opponents. Man, the last 3 or 4 girls Katy fought, I never even heard of them before. And I'm in female boxing. You know what I mean?
Sharapova? You ain't never heard of Sharapova?
I never heard of her. And the other 3 girls, the girl that she fought in Leeds, I never heard of that girl. She just had a baby like 3 months before that fight. Like that shit's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not even good for boxing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exaggeration.
I mean, shout out to her. Shout out to her for taking the fight, and making the money, and making
Jennifer
the fight.
Hahn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Jennifer
Yeah.
for taking the fight and making money. I'm not, making
She's
money.
a nice gal.
It just didn't. It just rubs off the real boxing public, the real boxing heads.
So they
It's like
padded her
weird.
record.
Man, you said it. I can't even say that. I don't know. Hey, whoever's watching, I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What'd you guys make of
wait, no. Who do you guys like? So you're going.
Oh.
Serrano.
I'm going Serrano.
Who do you like?
yeah,
Dave?
it's the same
Serrano.
Serrano.
Who do you like, Jess?
They're not gonna let Katy lose.
Yeah, it's
They'd
gonna
be like, that
split
wasn't a
Katy.
knockout. That was a slip. Katy
It's
wins.
gonna be split decision, Katy Taylor.
I don't know.
And not because I don't like Serrano, not because I don't think
Serrano changed
win.
that last girl's face. I don't know. She hits too hard, and Katy gets hit.
It's so weird, right? Like someone else brought this up. Like, Serrano's got a lot of knockouts, like under 130 or 130 below that, right? And then like she struggled at 135 and 140. A little vulnerable at 140, where she got rocked a couple times, by like a C- level D+ fighter, Reynoso. So it's like I don't know if she has knockouts at 135, Serrano. I'm not sure, but she might not bring that power because Miriam stood right in front of her and she should have knocked Miriam out. Did she knock her out or did it go decision?
Nah, but that girl's. I think I think the last girl did get stopped.
No, it wasn't decision.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like if she was knocking out Miriam, then I'd be like, yo, Katy's in trouble. But I think Katy's not gonna stand in front of her. It's gonna be pity pat. Katy Taylor, and I'll say it again. Katy Taylor is a professional amateur. That's it. You change something up. You make it 12 rounds, different. You make it 3-minute rounds, different. She's not a professional. She's a professional amateur. It's completely different.
Yo, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard to get those 3 minutes approved.
Oh yeah, I agree.
What is it gonna take the 2 fighters to agree, or that is a commission decision?
No, you could, so if Katy fought Jessica, if they brought that 3-minute rounds, I'd take it.
But what I'm asking
It's
is it a
fighters.
fight? So it's a fighter's
It's
decision.
a fighter's decision, and it's a state decision because the like Vegas, you could probably get away with it. Like the commission might let you do it here. in New York, I'm not sure because I feel like New York is a little bit tougher.
So,
Chicago's
but ultimately,
a little
the commission has the last say.
tougher. Yeah, sure. And you know, obviously it depends what state you're in, but yeah.
Yeah, I think New York is a lot more strict about.
Yeah, I
things.
think so too. But
Serrano's looking for 3-minute rounds.
of course, because it benefits Serrano. I think she trains everyone in her people. I love Jordan. Shout out to Jordan, her manager and brother-in-law. I love Cindy Serrano, her sister. Always been dope with me. Amanda's been dope with me. I like the Serranos. So I think they train at a different, like Heather Harding would probably do good in 3-minute rounds because she comes from that same Gleason's and you know, she comes from that tough East Coast gym. So like they know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if Katy Taylor's ever been in those kind of gyms, you know, the Philly gyms, the New York gyms, the Chicago gyms where they're 3-minute rounds and everyone's gonna kill you. Detroit
in Chicago,
gyms.
if you go to somewhere and you sparring with a guy, they'll be like, you want to do 5-minute rounds? And then they already got the heat all the way up, and you're not gonna say no. You know, I mean, as long as it's a safe, you know, situation, we know who it is.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out
let's
to
go.
Montel Griffin.
Yeah.
Montel Griffin want to do 5-minute rounds, and we're like,
Yeah.
all right, fuck it, run it, because we ain't gonna
Yeah.
punk out. Shout out to my boy Montel Griffin.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't think she's ever. I think, you know, she comes in and, you know, somebody has her wraps like folded, you know, and like, you know, and then have her gloves and they're already wiped out. Like, you know, you.
Got
In
the
Chicago,
Pedialyte
you
out there.
darn near like getting the mouthpiece from under the ring, or you biting down on the towel just because you forgot your mouthpiece.
Right?
you know?
We got a community mouthpiece. You leave your mouthpiece, we're gonna.
Damn.
You don't wash that. Here, that's what you get.
I got a super chat.
Why? What the?
I got a super chat here. I got a super chat here from London Runs Boxing. He says, Taylor dropped Gutierrez. Serrano did not.
Yeah, that's, you know.
But Serrano has the power. Cringe face emoji. Katy by KO, he's calling.
Katy by knock. I would bet.
I mean,
against
that's
that all day.
I mean, no disrespect, that's a London fan. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
hardcore for their people.
Yeah, shout
and
out to
that's-
the UK people. man.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
fucking awesome
I get a
fans.
lot of love from UK too,
Yeah.
but you know they're gonna stick by, you know, their people.
Yeah, they
so-
should. You know, and they should too. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I don't know if Serrano's power is real above 130.
I was
hard to
just
say.
looking. I don't think she has any stoppages above 130.
Yeah, see what I mean? I look at all that shit. You know what I mean? So that's how, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this could be one of them things where it's like the Vernon Forrest.
So what happens if
Against
she
Wilder.
wins, though?
Ooh, Serrano.
Amanda.
We talked to Jordan, me, Jess. It was a 4-way phone call. It was me, Jess, Amanda, and Jordan at like maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
But I talked to Jordan. I just talked to Jordan like 2 weeks ago. But like we've always talked about them two fighting. You know, Jess versus Amanda. You know, the weight would be weird. We'd have to figure it out. But
That's a possibility.
that's a possibility.
What's
It's
the
not
highest she's been? She looks like
140.
40. Yeah.
You know.
Oof.
How many
So you need her at 145 at the least.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends how this fight plays out. But I think I don't know, with Jake Paul involved on their end and the money, that means the money's higher, right? Because he brings 20 million new followers. So that would be a different scenario than fighting Katy. That's more appealing to me now. Jessica fighting Serrano because of Jake Paul, and he brings in a whole different platform that could see us. You know, so that's a little bit more appealing now than the Katy Taylor fight. You know, because that fight's been dang. You know how many meetings I had about Katy Taylor? You know, off the record and off the side and this and that. Man, you know, and
I'm over it. Basically.
Yeah, I've had meetings in dungeons about this fight.
What about this new girl? Not new, but she just won the vacant title. Is that a fight that you could do at a catchweight? She moved up 3 divisions for 54 title. Remember?
Natasha Jonas.
Jonas.
Oh, she's not new.
No. I mean new.
Oh, okay.
Because she got her new championship this weekend.
First of all, I love Joe Gallagher, her trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's her manager too. And I actually like Natasha Jonas. She's always been a good person to us. So shout out to them too, and congratulations. You know, she's managed. I'm sorry, she's promoted by a boxer, Ben Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Ben. You know, I talked to Ben on Zoom, and me and Ben Shalom talked a few times. Shout out to Ben Shalom, and so he tried to make Jess versus Natasha Jonas, and I told Ben, I'm like, I don't think that Natasha Jonas deserved the undisputed shot at 147.
Mm-hmm.
Not to go from 135, 147, with no one ever, she never fought in the division. So I was like, why would we do that? You know what I mean? So
The money wasn't worth it?
No, we didn't even get that far, but I just thought, like, there's bigger fights for her. Chantel Cameron, Katy Taylor, Serrano. Like, she would have to do something spectacular, in my opinion.
Is this
What about-
spectacular?
It's great for her. But that's what I was telling you. Like I said, we would fight Hannah Rankin at 150 because there are girls that aren't really, they don't punch like 154 pounders. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I talk about weight or different fights, people are like, wait a second, you fight, this person at that way and this. Yeah, because I feel like they don't know
everyone's
the real,
an individual. I get it. But
Yeah.
with Jonas, where would you take that fight? And is it appealing now that she won a world title?
Not yet.
I think they tried to make that stepping stone to get to us. Like,
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, sure, let's do
Of course.
this then.
Yeah, I think if she's undisputed at 154,
Wow. So she's got to undisputed to get a shot?
yeah,
That's only
because
what-
she's a
how many
champion at
more
154.
people?
She's not. She's only Hannah Rankin, right? Hannah Rankin got
Hannah
2 belts.
Rankin, and then
yeah,
she
so just
got-
one more fight.
Yeah.
And that I need her status to come up a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's more of a status thing. It's more of a money thing. I personally think that right off the top of my head, I could be like, hey, Eddie Hearn's gonna say that fight is worth this much for Jessica, and I already know, like in my head, I think, okay, he's gonna offer us this. That's not the money that I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that's a risky fight of some degree. I just don't know. Every fight, like you fighting Danny, you fighting me, or you fighting Jess, they're all different levels of cash, right? So
Yeah.
I got to put you in a position
So-
with the best opportunity, the biggest cash.
Do you not feel like this could be like a Roy Jones, John Ruiz moment where it's like right opponent, right time, catch you, get this belt, go back down?
Yeah.
Like Natasha Jonas has fought lower than like her lowest weight is lower than anything Jessica's fought at, right?
Yeah.
So like why not go get that third division and just
And it's a common opponent with Katy.
with Katy, yeah.
I think she could be Hannah Rankin, Natasha Jonas. So let her get the undisputed, and then it's worth it for us. I just don't think we win 2 belts, and then it's like what?
But in this world where boxing is so political, you really think that you'll be able to put 2 undisputed champions in the ring together?
That's the whole goal, is to do some
I don't
stuff
know.
that you've never done before. Like,
I proposed this on Twitter. I said, okay, so let's just say, for argument's sake, Natasha Jonas is undisputed at 154, Jess is undisputed at 147, and Chantel Cameron is undisputed at 140, and then Katy at 135. I say, let them fight for another championship, undisputed versus undisputed. Let's make the catchweight. But the belts ain't even on the line. You know what I mean? So, like, there'll be like a diamond belt that's just, 2
Only-
undisputed.
yeah.
Only the undisputed
Yeah.
can fight for. That gives something that's something that the undisputed people don't have.
it's
See what I'm
another
saying?
level that is being created.
And being undisputed is like a pain in the ass. Like,
That's what I'm saying. You got so many mandatories. You're dealing with so many sanctioned bodies. So how do you
And
keep her?
sanctioned fees.
That's what I'm saying. How do you keep
Crazy.
her undisputed while simultaneously keeping 3 other women undisputed? It's a lot of.
I will say this, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, we don't really give a fuck about being undisputed. We just want like the biggest fights, right? Like, we would fight Katy tomorrow, no belts, 141. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they chase belts. I mean, it's been amazing to have the belts, but we rather have the bigger fights. We rather have legacy. The belts are cool, but like dealing with these sanctioned bodies and like paying those fees, it's like
It's funny.
annoying.
That's what I was going to. It's funny that you say that because Clarissa just was telling Christopher Colbert, who said the same thing you're saying. His
Yeah.
exact words
I like
were,
that.
"I don't fight for belts. I fight for money and legacy."
Yeah.
She said, "Well, that's weird because the belts bring you the money, and I thought the belts were the legacy."
I think, and that's a great point. Shout out to Chris, because I actually like that kid. Here's the thing: we already won undisputed, so like we have the credibility, right? So I do think I'm right and wrong, and maybe Chris is right and wrong. Like, you should win.
Well, no, that's Clarissa who said it to Chris.
right. You're
Clarissa
saying
said, "Isn't the belts bringing the money and
right, but I think you
also
should
the legacy?"
win. You have to win something, right, to be credible, to do what you want. Like, Floyd won all those belts, and he was like, "I'm gonna do what the fuck I want."
But he never undisputed.
yeah.
And here you are telling Jonas to undispute just to get a fight.
Yeah, just because I don't think her market value is where I need it to be, because we have other opportunities. You know what I mean? So
I don't know. Someone's invested in Jonas. She's got a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities.
yeah,
That
Ben
seemed,
Shalom. You know what I mean? And I just don't think, like, they went to 154 because Eddie Hearn's got everyone from 135 to 147, right? So I don't even know if Ben and
Eddie deal
would even
together.
work. I don't know if they would even work with each other. I don't know. I know there was some drama back.
I know one is boxer and the other is the zone, so I don't know how you can make that happen.
Right. I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm sure it's possible somewhere, somehow, pay-per-view, whatever. I don't know. But
I don't know because UK the zone got DAZN UK, and now Boxers with Sky Sports.
Right. So here, all right, perfect example. Now you're Eddie Hearn, right? Ness, you're Eddie. Would you let your undisputed champion fight someone from Golden Boy or whatever? Because especially if you don't have.
No, but you as a manager should bring it up. Like, hey, what about that Jonas fight, Eddie? So that he can be like, no, because he's going to know that's on another network. Let me find something from McCaskill to keep her satisfied here on the DAZN side of things.
And yeah, it's a great point. And I feel like we've gave him our wish list to match him, and no one's called me back.
And they said, hey, why don't you commentate? They took the gloves away and
So-
gave me a microphone.
So how long is left on the contract?
2 more fights.
Oh, damn. That's a year.
Yeah.
Or more, depending how
what's
it
crazy?
moves.
You know what's crazy too? Like, I don't even understand the mandatories, to be honest with you, because they were saying this girl's a mandatory for Jessica, and then 2 days later, hey, we get an offer, a real offer from, our promoter saying, hey, how about Chantel Cameron? What happened to the mandatory?
I thought I had mandatory.
Like, the mandatory was there. Like, I don't even understand mandatories. Lou DiBella's blowing up my phone. Shout out to Lou DiBella. Like, he's like blowing up my phone. I didn't answer, but I like Lou, but it's just too much drama for me because like he's a lawyer and all these people want to get me on the phone to get me to say something. Man, just text it to me. You know what I mean? Because people are weird in this game.
So what does Lou want with you? He got a girl?
I don't know. Well, his girl supposedly was our IBF mandatory, and then next thing you know, we're getting phone calls from Matchroom saying, "Why don't you fight Chantel Cameron?" And it's just like, man, I don't know what's real. We never got a letter saying that our mandatory. We had a respond to a mandatory. I don't know what's true. I don't even know how mandatories work. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you call the sanctioning body?
no, because I'm like, we're supposed to get a letter. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking wake up anyone if they're sleeping over there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'm staying in my lane, and we check the mail every day.
So you said Jessica's been out 5 months now, right?
Since December. She was on the Haney card.
December.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not 5 months.
No.
But by the time that
I'm
fight
saying
would have
by
happened,
April
yeah.
30th. By April 30th.
So when are you wanting, hoping to be back in the ring?
I'm always wanting to be in the ring. Like, you start out as a new professional and you get a fight every quarter, and that's great because you stay in shape and you got something coming up, and then you move up in the ranks. And I understand how it is. You got to fight people who are your caliber, and there's not that many people at the top of the chain like that. So you get like 1 or 2 fights a year. So, I'm still in that old mindset of like, let's go, let's fight. So anytime is good, but we'll see. Maybe second quarter, but we'll see.
So Rick, how's the theoretical contract have to look for you to accept the Cameron fight?
I mean, it's got to be, we're the champions, so I feel like, they should bend over backwards to technically we're the A side in that fight. If we go down to 140 and fight Chantel at her fight, then they should negotiate probably for her first. But they want our belts at 147. I think, we told them what we want and we haven't heard back.
How long ago was that?
Month. See what I'm saying?
Was there a potential date for that?
Yes.
What?
I was told actual date, no, month, April or May.
Okay.
So right here, right now. You know what I mean?
So you guys are staying in shape?
Yeah, she's always in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, even when she's not fighting, she's, all my kids do something. You know what I mean? They're not just chilling. So we're always in the gym. We're always sparring. So we're semi-ready at all times.
Semi-ready.
Yeah.
Gotta ask, obviously you and I spoke about it yesterday, but just for the people, there was a conversation that was had last year that brought an opportunity for you to open up RGBA Chicago along with Robert Garcia. Shout out Robert Garcia. When is that? What's the status on that? I know there was some excitement in the city, as far as that is concerned. Obviously, Robert has extended the RGBA brand, to San Antonio before, and he just got Bam Rodriguez, to become
Hector
champion.
Dananara from there.
Right.
Joshua Franco too.
Exactly. So, he's already had a few champions come out of that gym through an extension. So obviously the same could be done in Chicago. Any timetable or updates, anything you can share as far as RGBA Chicago?
First of all, shout out to my guy, Robert Garcia, just for the opportunity, because that's...
I want to know details, though. Like, why would you need Robert?
Well, here's the thing. Like,
in your city?
That's a good question. And to be honest with you, like, I used to go to Robert, and I think only Danny knows this well. Other people in Robert's gym, Victor Ortiz, all those guys that were around, what's his name? Brandon Rios, all those guys.
Josecito.
Yeah, Josecito Lopez. I used to go to, when I first opened up a gym, I would go to Oxnard and I would hang out there for like a week, a year, for like 10 years, like 8, 9, 10 years. Probably more like 9 years. I would just sit in the gym and watch Robert and those guys train. And they let me, and they were always nice to me, and they gave me tickets for fights. I was in Danny Garcia's, Robert's brother's home for dinner. Like, all those guys took care of me. So when the story got back, like, yo, Mikey Garcia commentated in the fight in Dallas, and then like Mikey was like, hey, congratulations. Yeah, you used to come to the gym all the time, right? I'm like, yeah. I would just watch and observe, and I wanted to learn from those guys. I'm friends with Fernando Vargas, and I was a huge Vargas fan, and he was here yesterday, and we got to see him and his kids and whatever. But I don't know, I just felt like he was like my big brother in a sense. Like, I felt like he brought my game to another level. So the only way to pay homage to that in my mind is to collab with him. You know what I mean? So I
you felt mentored
100%. He didn't even know. Right? I mean, Danny, you know the story probably better than I do. What happened that reconnected the whole story, Robert called me and was like, yeah, let's do a gym together. And I was like, man, it's an honor. You know what I mean? So I looked up to him. I looked up to everyone in his circle, Big G, his dad, all those guys, Mikey. So, we flew out there, Jess and I flew out there and talked to Mikey and Big G and Robert, and that was it.
So I got to ask, is it a franchise fee? Is it like the Mayweather Boxing Club?
No.
So this is just something you guys put together yourself?
Yeah, we have our own deal, and it's a very generous deal, and I was kind of like, man, Robert, are you sure? And Robert's like, I don't do this deal for anyone. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I looked into that Mayweather Boxing Club. It's a pretty penny.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, it's nothing like that.
Pretty penny to use that name. It's a pretty penny.
Robert's a stand-up dude, and man, it's just an honor.
And what do you hope to get out of it? Do you think that the name Robert Garcia would attract new talent in Chicago, or is it more something that you're doing for yourself? And by yourself, I mean, because you feel like you're giving back, and he mentored you.
I feel like both, really, because I feel like, man, I looked up to this dude like in 2007. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, I know the story with him, Fernando, Mikey, like all those guys, and I followed the story, and to possibly build a story with him is dope, right? It would be awesome for me and Robert to be in the same corner with our own champion that we worked on together, right? So that's one thing. And the other thing is Chicago and boxing in general is so full of hate. Motherfuckers won't sign up to Rick Ramos' boxing gym, but they'll sign up to Robert Garcia, RGBA Chicago, even though Rick Ramos owns it and is the head trainer. It's like fucking crazy, but... So
it's up and running already?
No, hopefully. And so to answer your question, sorry, that was the longest answer ever. But to answer your question is like the COVID situation, like we just moved my gym from the first floor to the basement. It's taking me months to get my shit, like all the new ring and the new stuff. So, I mean, right now, man, I don't even know, probably May 1st, and I might not even have a ring for a few months because with COVID backup and deliveries, it's been insane. So I'm shooting for May 1st in Chicago, back of the yards or a little village area. And I'm excited, and Robert, Mikey, probably Bam, and all those guys are gonna come to Chicago on the
grand opening.
Yeah, the grand
opening. I gotta be there because I feel like I had.
You guys are invited.
Just a tiny part.
Nah, you can spread it out more than that. You had a big part.
I had a tiny part.
Yeah, you did. You should be proud too, because you're gonna be part of the fam forever.
It's funny because when I spoke to you guys in New York, when it was the day of Teofimo and Cambosos, and I didn't know. I didn't know that a conversation I had with Robert kind of sparked conversations with you guys, and now, obviously me being from Chicago, I gotta be there for that. So hopefully it is May 1st because it's funny enough. I will actually be in Chicago
that weekend,
and that weekend only. So
all right, so.
Rick, I wanted to ask about the boxing league, man. I know you probably can't say too much, but. Ever since they told me about it, I'm like, yo, is it gonna be like a World Boxing Super Series?
This is like the third topic you brought up that is not public yet, but no. I mean, I had pitched the idea to Matchroom actually, and I got zero feedback. I didn't even get a response. So
when you're pitching, it's emails.
This one was a direct message to Eddie Hearn, and he's probably got a million things going on. So I mean, I know he saw it, but he probably it's just if I'm not putting it together with like a team, like a business plan, he might not have really taken it serious. So, you know, he's so busy, like I'm not gonna stress about it, you know. So like I had shopped the idea around to some of the boxing heads that I knew, and you know, Fight Stars, Pat Oaks, you know, loved it, jumped on it, flew me out, and you know, I pitched them. Alex was in the room from the Fight Force, and there was a couple other people in the room. I forgot. There's like 8 people in the room. I pitched it, and they loved it, you know. And I had a business plan, and you know, we're gonna see what happens. You know, we talked to Pat yesterday, and a couple other people yesterday, but it looks like it's going to happen. You know, it looks like we could start off with a series of getting 15 people, women, into a house, a fighter house in San Diego, and just kind
The mansion.
Yeah, the mansion. I don't know
What's the start date?
We're working that out right now.
Because I know Benavides is still there till April.
Yeah, he's still there. Shout out to Benavides. Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I went to check him out. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, the house is crazy, right?
Amazing.
So we might.
I could imagine that camera'd up with you know, you have your chef.
It's
you know.
throwback. It's like it's kind of like what us boxing people kind of grew up on. You know, if you were watching like UFC stuff and contender stuff, and it's like I used to fold my clothes to like the contender just series. It was every Saturday. You know.
Yeah, so we're gonna basically get 15 women out there, pros, right around the same weight classes, having an audition type atmosphere, build profiles, and see if we can put this tournament together first. Or we might just, you know, build profiles and see where we could take it. But ultimately creating a female boxing league with, you know, benefits, insurance, and you know, 401ks and things like that. Creating a league is one of my goals.
401k, so they're going to have to put money from their own purse
aside, you know, and I think
you're matching it?
We'll see what happens. I
mean, ain't that what 401k is? Somebody got to match it.
Not all companies match it. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely do my best.
Rick's like, yo, put your money away. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not matching nothing.
No,
honestly,
but
there's times when people aren't being told that. They're not even being told like how to do their taxes, how to do, you know, be smart with their money, and you know, so at least there's that, you know, at least.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna bring all these people, all the women in the room, in the mansion. Maybe film it for 2 weeks and see how things go. Film sparring sessions, not to the entirety, but you know, clips.
Yeah. Give them a tease.
Yeah, bring in maybe Paulie Malignaggi, come check it out and give his opinion. Jessica, come give her opinion. Maybe Sergio Mora, because he was from that same atmosphere. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, we talked about a lot of stuff yesterday. So now it's just about like profile building, execution, and signing fighters.
You have so you don't have the 15.
No, I have them like in a notebook written down, and I've reached out to sign fighters, and that's why it goes back to what I was saying before.
Contracts.
I don't think they understand. I don't think fighters in general, guy or girl, understand the contracts and what it means. And I'm gonna do a YouTube.
And are you saying this because it's taking long for them to respond?
Yeah,
to you?
I feel like listen, all you guys and girls, well, more girls right now, but like guys and girls, like I feel like I'm fucking Santa Claus and giving contract 3-year deals right now. Management deals, and I'm helping the fight stars do the promotional deals, and I'm just like, yo, man, these are good opportunities with better minimums than Jessica had back in the day.
I would have killed for like an opportunity like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, and no one's even countering me back. Like there's some big name female fighters I can't mention right now, but like we're close to a deal with one.
Are you looking for specific weight classes?
Yeah, it's like right now I'm trying to stay in my lane where there isn't a lot of promoters. So like maybe 147, a hair of 147, 154, 160. I think right now it's pretty open right now. It's not like 135 or 130 where like Eddie and all those guys got all those fighters. So there's some opportunities still.
Have you seen this girl by the name of Shadeja Green?
Yeah, she's East Coast, right? Washington, maybe?
Jersey.
Yeah, I saw her. She's like 3-0, 4-0?
12-0.
12-0? She's moving that quick, huh?
All KOs too, man.
Really?
Help her out, man. I've been fucking talking about this girl for 3 years or 4. Shadeja Green.
Shadeja Green.
She's the WBC silver too. She's gonna be Franchon's mandatory.
Shadeja, hit that inbox. Find Rick
you gotta
Ramos.
hit her, man. Believe me, I've given her number to everybody. But she's the number 1. She's the WBC silver right now, so it might be a little more because she put herself in position.
Yeah. And you know what? Like I have no problem working out the right deal with the right fighter. You know, it doesn't like as long as like I'll come up with a business plan like for her career. And this is like I'm not speaking for her specifically, but like depends who the fighter is.
Yeah,
like,
in general,
it doesn't have to be a 3-year deal. It could be a 1-year deal for 3 fights, 5 fights, whatever we think is good for both of us.
Damn, you're gonna be able to get girls fight 5 fights in 1 year, Rick?
No. It could be depending who it is. If they're Like someone with 12 fights, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with 2 fights, I give him 5 fights in a year.
Honestly, if you asking Rick about that kind of stuff, I'm like, Rick was the only person making moves, during the pandemic. Like Summer stayed active. She hasn't had
And
a
won a
lull.
belt.
She got the UBO. She hasn't had a lull in like forever, and he stays on the phone. He's like, he doesn't sleep. It's crazy. So it's like, you got the best man for the job right here.
I'm just curious to get both of your guys' thoughts on Bob Aaron's comments. Obviously, on April 30th, he had Shakur and Oscar Valdez here in Las Vegas, unification at 1:30, the same day as Katy Taylor and Amanda Serrano. And Bob received a lot of criticism for his comment. I'm going to go ahead and read the quote. He said, and I quote, "I mean, as good as a fight that is, and that being Taylor and Serrano, come on, whatever reason it is, people don't particularly pay attention to the women's fights." And he then went on to say, "I don't want to be accused of being anti-women in sports, but I'm telling you, this is like the Premier League." So for the soccer people, it's like the Premier League against women's soccer, basically.
I mean, he's 90. You know what I'm saying? Like, he comes from a different era
Yeah,
we don't even
man.
fucking know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's 90, so I feel like, a 90-year-old gets the right to say whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, I don't know about that.
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
at this point, someone needs to start to curve Bob a little bit. He's saying a lot of things that in this generation just aren't okay anymore.
Right, and I agree with that. I think the only one who should have a problem with that is
Todd DeBuff.
is Michaela Mayer. If I was Michaela, I'd be like, out of this fucking joint. Bye. And you're going to release me because you're a fucking piece of shit. But that's just...
But
that's
he's
what I would
getting
think
her
about her.
opportunities.
Right, I mean... I
And
don't
she's
know.
pretty popular, right?
Yeah,
Or-
she's popular. I don't even think she needs Bob Arum to be popular. She's obviously has the amateur credentials to go anywhere. So if I was Bob, like if you really believe that, I don't think he really believes that. I just think he's a promoter trying to talk some shit and get some
Yeah,
buzz
he's
going.
shitting on another card.
Yeah, that's
It's a rival card on the same date.
That's
Oh,
what-
you don't want to watch that?
That's what fucking promoters do. You know what I mean? They create shit out of nothing. So that's what I think he was doing. I don't really think he meant it. And if he did mean it, that's his opinion. And, I feel like you can't give your opinion these days. But if I'd say the only one who should really have an issue is Michaela.
Has she responded? Has
I
said
felt
anything?
like no,
She
right?
didn't
I
say
don't think she responded
It might
to
have
any
been
of
some
that.
behind the closed doors, like, yo, I'm going to say this, like, don't trip. And, if she hasn't said, because she got...
Whoa, I doubt Bob cleared it with her first.
Yeah, right.
True.
I'm sure not even sure.
But
Bob
no,
knows.
but she tweets like everything. She's
Yeah,
like,
she
I'm
didn't tweet
taking a
about
dump.
that.
Like she tweets
Yeah.
everything.
No, I agree.
So for her to not
love her.
say something about that,
Yeah, that's true.
No,
that's
so-
a really good point. That's a really good point.
Yo,
I
did
don't
that
even-
go over your head? I
Yo.
love you. I love you.
I don't listen. Bob Aaron's so old, he might not even know he has fucking Michaela Mayer signed.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
There might be somebody else doing it. I'm not, and for real, that fucking guy don't know.
So Michaela did respond.
Oh, what'd she
and-
say?
And she was in support of Top Rank as a whole. She said, "quote I know that the team that Top Rank has, Todd DeBuff and everybody, has been sort of running my career these past 4 years. They support me and they've been supportive the entire way. They've done really well and I'm happy with them. And so his comments definitely confused me, but it's not a representation of Top Rank as a whole."
Sound like somebody wrote that for her.
Yo, well, for sure. But Todd, it sounds like Todd probably.
No,
wrote
it was well. If they did write it for her, she
It's on
retweeted
her.
it?
It's
Shit.
on her page.
no. It was during
It was during an interview.
an interview
gotcha.
on IFL.
They briefed her. They
Yeah,
prepped her
Todd-
for the interview.
Todd probably
Yeah, for
signed
sure.
her, and Todd probably he probably controls that. I get it, whatever. I don't know if Michaela should be the only one to speak on it. I'm sure maybe Katy and Serrano, but yeah, that was a fucking dinosaur comment, But
Do you
it
think
was
she gets the Bumgarner fight? Does that happen?
who? Michaela Mayer?
Yeah.
I hope they get it for female boxing. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Who wins?
I think.
Are you sold on Bumgarner? I know
I
I'm
like
not
him.
letting you answer any questions. That's my specialty. Just question after question. But are you sold, or do you need another fight to see if the power's real?
Hold on, let's just retract. So the first question was who wins?
Who wins?
And then the second question was
Are you sold on her power?
Are you sold on
I've
Bumgarner?
always liked Alicia Baumgarten. We've texted. We've tried to get her to come to Chicago. She asked me to bring Jess to Where's she from? Detroit or Ohio or something? Detroit.
Yeah, she's in Detroit now.
She's from Ohio, if I'm not.
Yeah, she's originally from Ohio, but she lives in
Yeah,
Detroit.
like
She
I
trains
have
at the
Alicia on my phone. Like Alicia's dope. You know what I mean? And we've always kind of like been fans behind the scenes kind of thing. But you know, I'll publicly say I like Alicia. I think if Alicia catches Michaela Mayer, she could rock her. But I do see like Michaela boxing and moving, kind of like Katy will against Serrano, kind of like Clarissa will do against Savannah. I feel like those three are all the same fight.
Jessica, do you feel that Michaela gets repetitive with her combination? I feel like I keep seeing her do the 1, 2, 3 all night.
I feel like nobody like tries to get rough with Michaela. Like, I don't know. I'm not sold on Michaela, to be honest. Like, you know, Alicia Baumgardner, I think she's really slick. I think she's got good movement. She's not afraid. She'll come in and I think she has good pressure, but she knows when to get in, when to get out. She just seems very smart about her movement. So I think I would definitely pick Alicia in that one.
Yo, that's a dope tattoo. I just noticed that.
So we do this thing now because we travel so much and we both ain't got no job. So every time we go somewhere, like when we were in Vegas the last time, we got matching tattoos. He's my red heart, I'm his black heart. And so we just came back from Atlanta. So he got the Creed logo because he got me into a movie. You know, he's making moves as a manager, you know. So, and then I got this on mine. So
that is dope. For those that can't see, obviously, she has the inside of the boxing gloves where you lace it up.
That's dope.
And it's very good artwork. Very good artwork.
That's
shout out
very
to
detailed.
Iron Palm _Pudge on Instagram. They hooked it up.
So my new thing has become asking fighters. I know this is like something normal, but I guess as my life has gotten better, now I want to ask this question more. So what was your big purchase?
When I bought a house, I bought a car, I paid off my school loan.
Which one was first?
The house.
Yeah.
The house was after the Katy fight. Because Rick always just talks about like invest, don't waste your money. And so, man, gosh, the house buying process is like, you know, you take this big stack of cash and you set it away and it's like burning a hole. And then like you finally figure out the house that you want. And then there's this long process of like, okay, can y'all just take this money out of my account now? And it's like, it just takes forever. So the house was first, and
Shout
then
out to Katy for the house.
and then I think the car or the Rolex first, and then the car.
I think it was the
Or
car,
maybe-
then the Rolex.
Which car did you buy?
I have a Audi Q5. It's time to get rid of it though. It's like
Okay.
a 2018. I got it. Ante up.
That's old. That's old already.
And the first thing that I told her to buy was a house. You know, she was homeless at one point. I'm like, yo, buy this house, never be fucking homeless again.
That was like real shit right there. I paid off my school loans.
That was huge.
That was major because you just going into college, you just think like I'm gonna take forever to pay these off because everybody in your past
Society tells you
they
you never
still paying them.
finish paying your school loans, so that's a goal in itself to get them off your back.
I would actually take like big chunks, like a few hundred, a few thousand from like small fights and just like, okay, pay a chunk here, and then one day I looked at the bottom line. I was like, I think I could pay this thing off. Like word, like you just don't even think about that early. So.
And I heard you say we no longer have jobs. So when did you quit what is a bank, right?
Yeah, so he was a trader on the trading floor, and I worked in investment banking as well. And so, back in the day, we've been through some hard times together, just as friends and as teammates. When I first came to Chicago, nobody knew me, so I'm from St. Louis, and so we would use our purse to buy the tickets so that we could tell the promoter like, hey, we sold out of tickets because that looks good, and then they'll get you a new fight because it's like, oh, she's a ticket seller. So I basically would go home with nothing, and like Rick lived in his
That
gym.
was your plan.
No, that was kind of mutual.
He would be like,
You gotta
I'm gonna.
remember-
But that's an invest in yourself,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
you got to remember, like, nobody even cared about female boxing. You know what I mean? So, like, they're like, "Oh, we'll work with her. She better sell tickets." And we're like, oh, fuck.
And he would always be like, I'm gonna XYZ, and I'm like, I'm not letting him do that alone. Like here, half or more. Like we're gonna do this together. And then he lived in his gym for a couple years just to try to make sure his son was going to the high school and
college.
and so it's like
shout out Mount Carmel. I know your son was a caravan.
Yeah.
I only lasted 1 year there before I got kicked out. But shout out to Mount Carmel. I still remember the address to this day.
Oh my
6410 South Dante.
yeah, that's real. So at one point I just thought to myself like, man, I'm gonna retire this dude. Like I want him to be able to retire from, the trading floor, and I was able to do that. He quit April last year.
Yeah, April of last year.
And then after he quit, and he was always in the gym, and I'm like working from the gym, and I'm like, man, maybe I can quit my job too. And then they didn't wanted me to come back after like COVID started to die down. They wanted me to come back in the office, and I'm like, I do so much multitasking, like I can't do this. And I tried to make the connection, call the right people and say, hey, and then they said no. So I was like, well, I told you it was an ultimatum, like I'm out. So I quit in July.
Let me tell you, it was, I don't remember when, but it was since the pandemic. So October of last year. October of 20, right? October of 20, I go to Chicago, I go see them. And Rick invites me to strength and conditioning, the following morning. What time you guys do strength and conditioning?
4:45 a.m.
I show up, right? The Summer was there. A couple of his fighters are there. Boom. From there, go to the gym. They get a workout in, and then I turn around and I see Jessica, like whipping a laptop out and setting up her little station in the gym. And I'm like, what is she doing? Like, it kind of looked like you setting up a podcast. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, what is she doing? And she was really like setting up her station to start working. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we was on it. And I really wish I could have stayed a little bit longer because it just made sense. But, if I ever need to go back to banking, I can do that. I have the right connections. If Rick ever wanted to go back to the trading floor, same thing. So, but right now, I'm retired at 37. Back then it was 36. So I'm living the life that the Lord has, made possible for me to live, and I'm enjoying myself, and that's what we do.
You spoke about having a movie done on yourself. Have you started to write a script? Is it in your head? And obviously, is the romance going to make the movie, or is it just going to be the come up until you win the belts or become undisputed? Would that, would the Rick and you story be a second part? Like, how have you envisioned it?
I think it would definitely be like the true to life, what we do and how we do things. And Rick is a part of that 100%. I would never cut him out of anything. And I would never take out my truth to satisfy somebody.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I'm just saying, obviously, everything came in phases, so I don't know how long the movie or what part makes
now,
it.
Now, that is a good question, because we always talk about, like, okay, where would the movie end? And obviously, knock out Katy Taylor, that'd probably be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But, right now, we don't know what opportunities we're getting and or where that ultimate climax is. And so, it's kind of hard to tell right now, like, where we would end the movie, which is maybe why the opportunity hasn't presented itself, because we don't have the ending yet.
Yeah.
So, but we talk about it all the time. We have interviews about stuff all the time. Rick would probably be the director, producer guy, whatever, because, he always remembers, the stuff. But we even had like a really extensive interview with Ring Magazine of just like how we met and like kind of like the awkward, like, I'm coming in the gym with like basketball shorts because I grew up with 3 boys. Like that's, long mismatching socks and shoes with holes in them because, I just like, I'm training. I don't care, I'm just trying to get my training in. And he's just like, this girl looks like a train wreck, and so it's like we've had those extensive conversations about a lot of those things already. So, we're ready for it. I don't know where it would end.
Something that you mentioned his name earlier, but something that I feel like you remind me a lot of is Kanye West.
Kanye Titta.
Very
Chicago thing.
Very outspoken. Obviously not. A lot of people don't like you. A lot of people don't like the way you come off. A lot of people don't like the way you talk. But I gotta say, obviously, talking got you the Katy fight. Should that rematch ever happen, I just want to throw it out there, just a suggestion maybe. To me, should that rematch ever happen, you guys come out with that victory, your caption should be when Kanye won the Grammys, he said, people wondered what I would do and what I would say if I lost. I guess they'll never know.
Yeah,
That gotta be it, man. That
Yeah,
gotta
I
be
mean-
it. Because to me, like when I think of you, I think of a Kanye West in boxing in the sense that people didn't see his vision.
No.
People didn't
No.
agree with the shit that he was saying.
They don't
Yeah.
understand.
People thought he was
His
crazy.
methods. They don't agree
Yeah.
with Rick's
Yeah,
methods.
I mean,
Yeah.
people come at me, swinging at me. People fucking threaten me with lawyers and shit. Like the biggest promotional companies in the world threatening to sue me. Other managers taking punches at me. But yo, Jess is in a video game. She's in a fucking movie. She's what else? Video game, movie. Got a house, got a car, paid off her student loans. Like if it ends tomorrow, we already made it. She's undisputed. I mean, this is like the fastest. Like I'm the greatest trainer in Chicago of all time.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's
for real.
go.
It's
I mean,
real. I mean,
if,
you
you
can't
could be the
say-
greatest trainer in the world, but if you ain't got no fucking world titles, that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Right? I say that in Chicago all the time. That's why everybody hates me. But it is
And
what it
you
is.
know what? You know, like,
So you think you the greatest trainer from Chicago
Yes.
or ever
Or
in
currently
Chicago?
in Chicago.
both, all of that.
Because and this was before shit, my mom was probably even fucking, but you know, Muhammad Ali used to train in Chicago.
yeah.
I don't know who he was training with at the time, but
Montel Griffin's dad was a part of that. Shout
Okay.
out to Montel. Shout out
Shout
to the
out-
Griffin
Windy
family.
City,
Yeah,
right?
Windy
Windy
City.
City, yeah.
Mr. Griffin made. People don't talk about him. He's a legend. I don't know if they won anything. You know, I don't. Whatever.
Okay.
This is no disrespect to
Right.
like the
Okay.
past. I'm just like I believe I'm the best. The same way you believe you have the best podcast, and you do, and you're the best interviewer in the game. Like you gotta think that. You gotta think that. That's the way I think. And if you get mad and you swing on me, or if you threaten to sue me, it's because I'm telling the truth.
you've had people swing on you?
Yeah. So it's like to
Like
me-
physically swing?
Yeah. So like this is the way I see it. I always say this, right? I always say, yo, I never throw the first punch. Ever. Cause I don't put your word above my own. So if you call me whatever you call me, I don't care. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
The only way people swing on you is if they feel that they're threatened. So I feel like when I speak, people feel threatened because I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the way I think. I can't. If you don't like pizza, what am I gonna say? You're an asshole. You don't like pizza. You know what I mean? That's your opinion. That's your experience. So, I maybe I respect people's opinions differently. I don't know. Like I don't think anyone should feel threatened by me. And I think like I honestly think if you're a fighter in the game and you see me and you hear me and I'll fight for you. I work for you. Every fighter I got is a company, and I'm the CEO of Jessica McCaskill. I'm the CEO of Summer Lynn. I'm the CEO of RGBA Chicago. I'm the CEO of Body Shop Box Club. I'm the CEO of Rick Ramos Boxing. You see what I'm trying to say? And if you don't look at it that way, and if your manager, your trainer, your promoter don't see themselves as the CEO of your company, and you are the company, then fucking fire them and call me up.
So it's good you saying that because Eddie Hearn says it all the time. I'm the employee. I work for the fighter.
Yes.
Do you feel that that's
think
been?
you got-
Do you feel that that's been the case?
That's still accurate. I mean, like if there's something going on,
Well, I think he means specific in your career, though.
Eddie
Has Eddie
or-
been working for you?
no, not at all. But when it comes to like, okay, so like I pay Rick and he works for me, yes, but he's also, like he said, the CEO. But as far as him working for me, if something comes to the table, he'll come to me and he's like, I'll do whatever you want because you're the fighter. So that's him working for me. But like he said, he's the CEO. He's like making the moves and running people down and you know, so that's him doing that part as well.
Yeah, like Ness, if I made a commission off of you, I'm gonna shop the shit out of you. That like credible shit. There's been so many goofy ass like offers or like, you know, things that I'm like, hey, we shouldn't go on that channel to do interviews because that's like, we're here. Like this is one of the biggest channels in the game, right? Everybody knows that, right? So I'm not trying to get on the you know, back home in Chicago. You see what I'm trying to say? Like we were on Fox, we were on DAZN, we were on XYZ. Like for me to go back and do Channel 9 is not something I want to do. You know what I mean? Or the U or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to move Jess up. And like I said, like I feel like I'm the CEO of your life and I'm trying to make sure that you make it. You know, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And if you should, every fighter should fucking love me. Because like for real, like I call out some of the fighters for Summer or for Jess and like those girls get interviewed. They're on their they're doing like 5 interviews after I call them out.
Right.
After one comment
Yeah,
or one
after
tweet.
One
yeah.
tweet. It's like, yo, you should thank me. Well, how you just got 4 interviews. Nobody knew who the fuck you were last week. I did your promoter's job.
Right.
Very true.
better than they did it. So it's like everyone's like, this one guy called me. It was like, Rick, your ego is fucking crazy. Your ego's getting out of control. Ness, Danny, you already know. If you want to call this an ego, call me the ego. I was broke. I was living in my gym and I was still fighting for fucking everything I got. My son thinks I'm crazy. He's 21 years old. Shout out to my son, Ricky Ramos. And he's like, yo, Dad.
Chill.
They're like, yo, me and my friends are gonna start this online thrift store, and I'm like, yo, I'll get the website, yo, I'll fuck. And he's like, Dad, chill out, like fucking chill out. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm fighting for my people, like people I care about.
He's at Bradley right now, right?
Yeah, Bradley
Almost
University.
done. Almost done.
Shout out to your son for sure. I gotta.
Damn, 21. So that means you really are young. No, that means you're young though. You can't be that old if he's 21.
Oh, I'm old.
I'm
45, right? Yeah,
That's
45.
young. Jesus.
I feel like I had a lot.
That's because you saying because that's younger than you.
No, but I get it. I get it because I'm in my 40s and I always say, oh, I'm old. But and to see what you've accomplished, like you said, what she accomplished in a short amount of time, same thing for you, you know?
All of us, look what you've done.
Absolutely.
Look what you've done. We're all fucking blessed, man.
Yeah.
Who would have fucking thought all four of us would be here in Las Vegas, fucking living what the fuck we love to do?
Exactly.
You fucking made it. You fucking made it. She fucking made it. I'm just chilling. I'm just here.
Nah, you
drinking my
made it.
espresso.
Here you go.
Chilling. About to play some golf. I don't even play golf.
Crazy.
In my pajamas, like Canelo.
Canelo.
Oh, so you're bringing out the Dolces today? You
Nah.
should.
Yeah. No, the Target's for now.
Oh, the Target. Oh, I thought the Dolces. I'm like, he bringing out the Dolces.
Wow.
Now, man, anything else you could think of, Nas?
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, you can't.
I'm being told by the producer, don't take it personal. Eddie ignores his $1 million ideas all the time.
I'm sure.
Doesn't ignore Katy. You can't say you're working for me and you give Katy 20 fights a year and I'm like fighting and yelling and struggling to get one or two. Like you can't say you working for me.
Yeah, I think the Cecilia fight was.
That was all Rick. Like he didn't believe they were gonna take the deal. He didn't believe that I could be, literally will say it out of his fucking mouth. Just will not be Cecilia. Told me himself, I lost a lot of money when you won that fight. Whose problem is that? It's not my, you promote me
Eddie said that?
to my face.
After the first fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, after the first fight, that's when he lost all the money because I guess the plan was to
wanted
match
Katy,
up
yeah.
Cecilia and Katy. And because I'm not promoted the same way, I guess, he doesn't think that there's a bigger money
That's
draw.
wild.
It's crazy.
That's wild. You know what?
But I think that your story is bigger. Like Cecilia, she was a declarated champion for a very long time, but
Yeah.
Like
she
she did-
came into the game late. And what I mean by that is she was well established in women's boxing before women's boxing was on television. So
No doubt.
she was just a pre-existing champ that brought her on TV. You were made
Right.
in this era where TV and women's boxing kind of got together. So we watched your development.
Yeah.
I think that we're more invested in you.
I'm the first person to actually win the welterweight ring belt. She had like the honorary something, like I'm the inaugural champion, and it's like there should be some respect on that. I understand that she did a lot of things for female boxing in her country, and that's dope.
Yeah,
she
that
has
is
her
dope.
place, but now she can sit in her place and have a seat, and now it's time for me to do what I'm doing. Like I just feel like I've done so much of the things that other people didn't want to do, that other people didn't want to do in a certain time frame. We burned through my career just like so fast. And that was the first thing he told me. He was like, okay, I'm gonna work with you and it's gonna be a really fast pace. We fought
Nonstop.
we fought a couple years in the amateurs, and then it started to go from I was fighting 4 rounds with these girls and I was knocking these girls out in the first round.
Yeah.
And it was like, we got to turn pro. And then I don't even think I even thought about turning pro when I was a fighter. It was just like, I'm just going to go for the next step, the next step, the next step. And then boom, pro came, and then boom, started winning, belts. And then
crazy.
it was just, I always was like, I'm going to listen to what Rick says. And if he's wrong, then I can say, I told you so, and I'll make my moves. And I've never been able to tell him I told you so.
Are you guys glad that you waited? Because it could have been December 2017, right? I know that your guy. I don't know if an official offer was made
For what?
for Cecilia for the last HBO show, right?
Yeah, so that's how it all started. So Tom Loeffler called me direct. And I don't like talking to matchmakers. I don't like to talk with in-betweeners. Like, let's just talk, get it over with. So he called me on my phone. He's like, hey, you want to fight Cecilia, the last fight on the HBO? And to me, it wasn't really appealing because it's the last fight on HBO. So if Jessica was to beat her,
Then what?
HBO's not gonna extend a contract, TV contract, because they were done with boxing, right?
Yeah.
So I told Jess, no, they came in aggressive with an offer. So I'm like, I'm not gonna respond. And then I let it go for like maybe 12 hours, and Loeffler called me or text me the second offer. I'm like, oh shit, like this offer is getting for real. You know, the numbers were getting.
Wait, so 12 hours, the offer changed?
Yeah, by like.
Just because you ignored it?
You're like
Yes, by like
overnight,
30, 40 grand maybe. So I was like, oh shit, this is getting for real.
So he didn't even know if you was busy.
Yeah, and this is for the people who don't know. Like, I used to trade for the biggest banks in the world, Goldman Sachs, blah, 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 all the fucking killers, you know? So like, I know how to talk to these guys, you know? Like, I'm like, I'm not gonna sweat it. So I'm like, but then the numbers start getting like to where you're like, I can't get too crazy. We should talk about this. So then I took that offer and I was like, okay, I think we can do something bigger with that offer. So I hit up Eddie Hearn. I said, yo, I told him the story. And he's like, don't do anything. Call you right back. And called me. And he was like, what do you want to do? I said, I want a home for Jess. I want a 5-fight deal. I think he gave us a 3-fight deal. And then I took that one offer and turned it into a 3-fight offer and quadrupled the money. And then I was like, all right, now we got the 3-fight deal. And we ended up getting that fight for more money than our original promoter. Shout out to Warriors for giving us an opportunity. But like Warriors was like, you're not going to beat Cecilia. I don't think you'll get over 100 grand for it. Like,
So
I
take
surpassed
this.
all those fucking.
They wanted us to take it right then and
Yeah,
there.
they're like, you're crazy if you pass on, you know, whatever it was, 75 grand or whatever it was. And whatever. We end up getting that, you know, whatever,
Couple
2 fights,
times over,
you know, double that, triple that, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, 2 fights. So it was like, you know, we didn't even chase the money. We chased the opportunity. We chased every opportunity to get bigger, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And
like we could have chased the money for that HBO fight, and we didn't, and then we could have chased, you know, some other stuff down the road, because I wasn't even supposed to fight for the WBC in October of 2018. You know, they told us to come to the press conference a couple months earlier, and he talked to us and like, what do you guys want to do? And we were thinking about a certain name, and no belts were involved yet. And he's like, okay, and that was still at 135.
Yeah.
And then we got a call back like closer to
like 2 weeks out.
yeah, whatever the fight date was supposed to be. And he's like, well, how about this opponent for a belt? And you know, the girl.
Damn, 2 weeks out?
Yeah.
We were like done.
We're so confident in the way that we train, and we have like zero fear about things. And so the girl, she wanted more money. So, you know, almost all my fights, Matchroom has asked me to take money. Like, okay, so we'll take some money from my purse and give it to this girl so we can make this fight happen. COVID, we need more money. Okay, take some money. I don't care. Just get the fight going. Like,
Damn,
we want to fight.
So wow. So that's some Lomachenko shit. That's what Loma was trying to say he had to do for Tio.
Yeah, and if you get caught up in that money shit, like they're just
You miss those
distraction. We were like, fuck it,
opportunities.
take it. We're so confident. Fuck it, take it. Take it. We're so done with the money. We win. We want legacy. I'm talking about history books. That's what I want to be in. Hall of Fame and this, that, and the other.
Can't feed no kids with history books, though,
can't.
right?
No,
Yeah.
you can't. But I figure, you know what? Jess is always going to be able to be on a podcast if she's in the Hall of Fame. She's always going to be able to earn money in the gym somewhere. You know, for me, it was all about building the brand for all of us, for myself, for the fighters behind me. Like Summer Lynn was like 15 years old or whatever, 17 years old, 16 years old at the time. So I was thinking about for the whole squad. I'm like, how could we all eat?
Eventually,
the more Hall of Famers I got in the Hall of Fame, they vote me in.
Eventually you do feel like, damn, what else I got to do? Like, you know, you feel like at a certain point you should be respected a lot more and shouldn't have to do those things. And it's like, you know, can I eat off my own plate without somebody digging their hands in there? Like, you know, you just get to a certain point where it's like, I mean, I'm undisputed. Like at this point, why do I have to keep giving up weight or giving up, you know,
Money.
fights,
Right,
money?
like this is just me, right? If you're Clarissa Shields, she has a gold medal. If you're Katy Taylor or Michaela Mann, whoever, like they fought over 100 amateur fights. I would be like, if that was me, I'd be like, man, good for you, Jess. I didn't have to go do all that. You did it with 25 fights and under 11 fights as a pro. Like, God bless. Like, I had to go do all this. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, if you're a gold medalist, you should be a world champion. That's not impressive. But you have 25 amateur fights beating legends. 36, you know, when you fought Cecilia, she was 36-0.
Yeah.
You know, the odds makers had us 8-1. They had her like 8-1 odds. So I'm like, man, shout out to the odds makers for being wrong all the time.
Let me tell you, I was at a birthday dinner when that fight was taking place, and we had like the private room in the back. We got the TV, so like I'm doing
The stream.
the stream, but like from my phone to the TV, and we're in the restaurant. Yo, I won close to 2K on that fight, right? There's about 30 people at this birthday dinner. As soon as the decision was read, I jump up. Mind you, it's this girl's birthday. I didn't give a fuck. I caught the waiter or 2 bottles of 1942, and we fucking party. We fucking party. I won money on the Katy fight because it was plus. I want to say it was like plus 500 or 600 that it went the distance. I'm like, yo, they might not give it to her in Kate over there, but it's going the distance. I remember that was a Wednesday Showtime Facebook stream.
Yes.
Right? Remember that shit?
That's
That shit was
crazy.
That was before I was just a fan.
Yeah.
Right, that was
just
at like a
fan.
weird time too. It was like 4 o'clock on a Wednesday or something.
Well,
Yeah, it was really
because-
early
here in the
here.
States.
Because of the time difference,
Yeah,
because
the
it was
time
over
difference.
there. And I remember,
shit was crazy.
I remember leaving work, and so with this when I was still in the Air Force, and so the base is like in the middle of nowhere out here. It's in the desert, and I knew that I was coming up on a prison, the same prison OJ was released from. Shout out to OJ.
Shout out to OJ.
And so I knew, I'm like, I gotta stop right here because there's no cell service. So I'm literally sitting on the side of the road in the middle of the desert on my phone watching this fight on Showtime's
Damn,
Facebook
true
page.
fan.
You know, but it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, just having, you know, just as a fan, you know, having seen you guys, you know,
The whole thing, right?
The development,
just
man.
the story, you know, the story,
the journey.
you know, just a story, you know. And now with RGBA Chicago, you know, Rick's like, yo, you need your own wall in the gym. Like,
Come through. I'll set it all up for you. Shit.
you know,
we
but
got the stuff.
nah, definitely a great story. I don't know if you have anything.
No,
else.
that's it,
Yeah.
man. I do want to ask you guys to give out your social media. I seen a few people asking, what's her IG? They're crazy. They're not already following you.
Jessica McCaskill on IG, pretty much everywhere.
Rick Ramos Boxing on all social media platforms.
Any more crazy comments or questions?
nah.
Yo, I'm not
That's
gonna
it.
lie, Rick.
That's
They've been
it.
eating your ass up in
Yeah.
these comments, bro.
Yeah.
That's what made me bring up the whole Kanye, because it's like people think I'm crazy.
No, they think Rick's crazy.
Look,
course they do.
look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
They're watching.
But they're here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll slap a motherfucker about Kanye West. Don't play play with Mr.
Right.
But see, I like truly appreciate and understand a lot of the things that he says, just like I understand. And it's like, yo, it's crazy, but I have those crazy thoughts. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my mother used to tell me, yo, you just wasting your time with the boxing stuff, like blah, blah, blah. Like, true story.
Yeah, crazy.
You get what I'm saying? And now, just yesterday, my sister turned 16. She got her Sweet 16 party coming up. Cool. Sent her some money. And I'm like, Ma, you know what's crazy? The same boxing that you told me.
Crazy, right?
I'm like, that's the same money that you get what I'm
Crazy,
saying? So,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I
it's
don't-
just like a lot of those crazy thoughts, a lot of those, you know, people used to say shit about me, like, yo, you whack, you whatever the case may be. But it's like, I saw the vision, you feel me? I
You saw
felt
it, front row seats, for sure.
I felt like a Kanye West in my own sense. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's not for you to understand, it's for you to see. So,
Yo,
so
I just got like 30 new followers, so shout out to those haters.
nah, but you know, they have been going in on you
It's
in the
all right.
comments. But
Like what? Say something. Let's go.
okay, so we have a
I
super
seen-
chat.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
let me
he paid. He paid to talk shit.
See, he knows what a super chat
So I'm
is.
making you guys money.
Where is it at? Where's
Who is it?
Bro, go to the super chat. It was a $5 super chat.
Oh, he came up
to
light,
talk,
though.
just to talk.
He came up like,
Come on, man.
That's why they lost it.
Yeah, that's why he's
they
broke.
lost
He's
it.
broke, obviously. I always say that, yo. If I was a rapper, I'd be like the bestest fucking rapper in the game.
you the
real.
50 Cent of boxing.
Yeah.
Jaime Nieto, is that the one? He says, the more I hear this crap, the more I get tired of the politics of boxing. He's talking in circles.
Hey, honestly,
Yo, our
the
careers
politics-
in circles.
Yeah.
I'm giving you guys PG-13. I can't even tell you. I could tell you off camera the shit, but I can't even say because, yo, dude, like you don't even know. Like, and I understand your frustration. Like, you can hate me. I get it. I would hate me. You know what I'm saying? But like, I can't even speak on it because lawyers will call and be like, you know, these little lawyer boys call me and be like, yo, bro, you can't say that. You know, it's like annoying.
It is crap, and he's the one that's like sifting through the crap just to try to make sense of it, or trying to like make money from it, or trying to make moves from it. And no, it is. It's like, even for me, it's like I have to like play nice and smile and for the camera. And I told Danny yesterday, I was like, man, you about to get some real raw interviews because I don't care anymore.
Yo,
and
that interview will be up today.
What's that guy's name?
Jaime Nieto.
Hey, listen, I understand your frustration. I understand it sounds crazy. It's worse in real life. But hit me up. I'll send you a T-shirt.
There we go.
Yo, speaking of, did you forget
I
about
want
me?
a hoodie.
Oh, okay.
I want a
No,
hoodie.
bust it out for him right now.
Okay.
I didn't know your size, and I only brought 2, and I gave one to Dominic Casoli yesterday.
Shout out to Dominic.
So he
Casoli.
got you the hoodie. I'm jealous.
Yeah, well, I'll get you one. What size?
1X.
I got
All
you.
right, we got you.
Well,
Hey,
I'll mail it to you.
Honestly, a lot of times people say,
Trav, could we get a zoom
Get a
on
zoom
that?
in.
Don't zoom in on that. I ain't get mine.
I gotta take a picture of that shit. Yo, Javier, hit me up. I'll send you one too, bro.
Yes.
That kid.
Jaime Nieto.
He changed your name, Jaime.
Yeah, that guy.
Honestly, I have to say on Rick's behalf, just because I see everything. Like Rick, he'll talk a lot of shit, and it's not really shit because it's the truth. And then like when it comes time to like ante up, like people, they just kind of back off. You know, it's like, or like with training, it's like, yeah, oh, you think you can hang with us? You think you can come and
fly him out.
Yeah, we will fly him out. It's like we have sparring 3 times a week. We have strength and conditioning 4 times a week. We get up at 4:45 a.m. and people come in thinking we playing games, and then like a week later they're like, I can't really do this. And it's like we've had so many people come in and then quit because we are so serious about how we work. And the same thing with the stuff that he's talking. If he says something, it's truth. And the thing is that nobody out there is spinning the truth. And so when you hear from him, he's the only one saying it, so it doesn't sound uniform. It sounds crazy, but then it comes to fruition. Like something happens. Like when he has to say something to Matchroom or Dazn, and then they slide back into the bushes like Homer Simpson, and
In the little gif.
Yeah, they delete that post, or they'll post something like they posted something about the best American boxers, and I wasn't on there. And Rick went crazy, and then they slid back in the bushes, deleted that post, and then came out with a brand new post, and my face was on it. You know, it's like people have to be checked sometimes
And held
that's Rick's
accountable.
job.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
No, and
man.
listen, you need a guy like Rick. Like, I feel
100%.
like
Man, I need a guy like Rick. Fuck, I'm fucking tired.
I feel like it was maybe Danny Garcia's dad that kind of, I don't want to say influenced or motivated everyone, but he was like one of the first father-son trainer managers to kind of take the limelight for the fighters so that you don't have to do the talking the way that Danny didn't have, you know, so you don't receive the hate. The trainer, the father.
I mean, I still receive hate too, but
in this case, your husband receives all the hate, and it's a way to kind of shield
for
the
sure.
fighter.
Yeah, for sure, without doubt. Like it doesn't matter if they hate me or not. You know what I mean? As long as they watch Jess, as long as they tune in, it's all good. And you know, Jess and the team and myself we've done a lot of good shit, so I'm just happy.
yeah.
Jaime Nieto says, no hate, bro. It just seems hard to get these fights made, so it's just frustrating for boxing
It
fans.
is. It is.
No
It
hate at all, bro.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
that.
it. See, that's like a real dude
That's-
who
yeah.
like said, no, that's not what I meant. So shout out to Javier. Javier, right?
Jaime
Jaime Nieto.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Jaime Nieto.
Yo,
hit
we're
us
gonna
up.
put
Yo, my bad.
Javier on your hoodie though.
We-
To
You
Javier.
know, we'll call everyone Javier. Everyone, yo, Javier.
And
Yo, hit me up though. I'll get you some swag. For real.
And I saw when he posted it live, and it was during the time when you was talking about like, okay, well, this making fights 50-50. Well, this fight we take at this weight, this fight this, and that's what he was referring to. But you know, it's kind of the whole thing of you know, let's not forget the history, right? Canelo wanted the Floyd fight so bad, he's like, we'll come down. We'll meet you at 52.
What happened?
You get what I'm saying? And he lost.
Yo, and we'll
Same
take,
thing you guys did with Cecilia. It's no different, right?
Yeah.
That was at 44.
Yeah, but
45.
they offered
45,
us the weight.
okay.
We didn't offer the catch weight. They offered it to us. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And what about the second fight?
The second fight
It was a rematch, so it was copy from the first.
Yeah,
place.
Oh,
all
because
the
she was
details
okay.
still roll over.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is like boxing fans, they got some strong ass opinions, and so they'll be like, just take the fight, and then you just take the fight, and they'll be like, man, that was dumb. Why you take the fight?
Yes, yes.
And the other thing is like, and this is what I've said to Eddie Hearn. This is what I've said to other promoters, not just Eddie, but like Jessica's my Canelo. So you protect your fucking Canelo. You see what
Yo,
I'm
he
saying?
will straight up tell somebody on the phone, they'll be like, well, we got to see what Canelo's doing. He's like, fuck Canelo, because Jessica is my Canelo. Jessica is my Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
like,
Anthony Joshua,
you
that's
up there doing like your thing for them. Like, I have the same feelings right here at home. So it's like, he's going to defend me in wholeheartedly in that fashion.
Yeah, and you know, to go back on to how hard it is to make fights, like you're trying to put your fighter in the best situation to win, and you don't want to give up 3, 4, 5 pounds just because, you know, make it easier for someone else. Why? You know, we worked hard to get here, and I'm not trying to give it away.
And everybody's coming right now. Like, let's be honest. Years ago, before I had a belt, we wanted that work with Chantel Cameron, and she said no.
Yeah.
And then after we started getting belts, and they started coming around, it's like, you're not on my radar no more. You got to sit down, have a seat, and take your, you know, we'll call you when we need you. And now she has gotten herself to a point where she is, you know,
unified. Right?
Yeah, she's in the game. And so it's like, okay, good job. You did your work. Because a lot of times people like, yeah, I got 2 fights. And it's like, you got to do your work to get to this level. And then we'll take a look at you. Don't expect a handout. Don't expect us to, you know, pull you up. Like, you got to do something on your end.
I got Donald Banks with a super chat. He says, I put $250 on Jessica versus Cecilia and got $2,000.
God bless.
Yeah,
God
that's
bless,
what's
bro.
up. So
God
happy.
bless.
So happy.
Cheers. I know you've been drinking with that. Salud. Salud. Enjoy, though. Enjoy.
For sure, man.
Crazy.
Oh, man.
Yo,
Rick, you're funny as hell.
Thank you, sir.
I want to give a big shout out to Ice Slide. We got McCaskill Ice Slides out there.
You got them on right now?
I had them on yesterday.
Okay.
No, I had them on yesterday.
I was gonna say take them off. Let's put them on camera.
big,
Put everything on
Yeah,
camera.
everything's on camera.
Rick didn't mention that, but we're working on a tequila deal. So shout out to
Oh,
Freshie.
wow.
If you even remotely like any of those seltzer drinks, Freshie has the best tequila, organic, no headache in the morning. Drink as many as you want. Summertime shy type of vibe, you know. So make sure you get some Freshie.
That's awesome that you bring that up. I gotta touch on that real quick. Like they were like, and this goes out. All you fighters listen, because they offered us, hey Jess, we want to be your sponsor. We'll give you XYZ, and we were like, yo, the money's cool. Cool.
The swag is cute.
Not the swag is cute. The money's cool, but fuck the money. We'll do it. We'll do it for equity. They're like, oh shit. I wasn't prepared for you to say that. I gotta go back to my partners and come back, and now they're back. See what I'm saying? So don't think so small. Like man, they everybody says I'm crazy, right? And I'm in this fucking meeting, wilding out, like screaming, like fuck them. You know, we don't want money.
To flip tables.
Yeah, we don't want money. We want equity. We want equity. We want to be part owners of the brand as well. So you got to think bigger,
long term.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully someday we're like all doing this podcast in the fucking Bahamas, chilling, like laughing. You know what I'm saying?
On a Freshie check. Yo.
Yeah.
We was just talking about going to the DR.
Yeah, man.
And doing a show from the DR because
Dominican Republic?
Yeah, shout out to
Let's
Ken
go.
Porter. Ken Porter invited us out there to the DR, and I'm like, yo, imagine waking up and you just the beach behind you.
I
and
know.
we doing the show in the DR, but just bad timing. The only thing I have left that I want to know, truly, well, I guess 2 things. Somebody put in the chat. I asked Jessica yesterday. I'll ask you today. In a perfect world, what comes of Jessica this year?
This year, I mean,
As far as fights, as far as
I would love
in and out the ring, I guess.
I would love a stay busy fight, like in the next 2 months, and then I would love Katy Taylor in Chicago, guaranteed rate field. I don't even know, White Sox Park.
Yeah,
you know,
got to be
outdoors.
South Side. That's where all the
Yeah.
Irish at. We can't go.
Yeah, no,
we
we go
can't
South
go.
Side,
Yeah,
South
we can't
Side.
go North Side.
Yeah, like if you know Katy, you say all the shit. You know, if you got a pair, let's do it in Chicago, in front of everyone in Chicago, Southside Chicago.
Rick, I'm lost here. I'm Team Rick, but why do you think the woman that beat you is gonna come to your hometown?
Because we're the undisputed champions. They want our belts. They gotta come get it.
But she still accomplished a bunch of shit herself.
Yeah, but we've won more belts than she has.
She keeps dropping my name. So if she wants it, like, man up.
Like
I don't know. You think? I mean, I'm not
So
calling you.
I'm-
I'm not calling him crazy because he's gotten it done. But if
I'm
you
gonna be
get
honest with you. I'm gonna be
hometown
honest with you.
advantage,
Look,
that's
I'm gonna
gonna
be honest with you.
huge.
The only city in the United States that makes sense outside of New York is Chicago. The Irish population there is outrageous. I mean, they dye the fucking Chicago River green for St. Patrick's Day. They dye. How do you dye a fucking river? They dye the fucking river green for St. Patrick's Day.
I will say that, you know, obviously she's Irish, whatever, but there was talks, me and Brian Peters had talked about at one point bringing Katy to Chicago. And that like kind of like never happened, obviously, but like there was talks about that, so that's not impossible.
I don't know. The Zone might be afraid of that. They took AJ to America. You see what happened.
Okay, I'll put this out there. You come with the right money, we'll go to fucking Ireland so you can knock you out in front of your people.
Hey, I'm McCaskill. I'm part Irish. You know what I'm saying?
We'll take that fight in Ireland. The money's right, the weight's right. If everything's right, it doesn't.
And what weight you needed to be at?
No lower than 44. They were talking about 41. That ain't happening. It's not
For
happening.
my belts.
Yeah, for the welterweight. It's not happening.
You know what the fans would say about me if I took a fight at 141 for my belts?
What's your opinion about that?
They would think I'm a sellout, right?
I mean, it shouldn't be you losing the weight. If she wants the catch weight, she comes in like Pacquiao did. Pacquiao didn't make Margarito go any lower than 54. Pacquiao himself came in, I think, at 51 or 49, and Margarito, you know, I don't know. I got to double check. Maybe it was a catch weight and I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right there. I think like he came in light. He came in at the way he felt comfortable.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you, that fight in Chicago makes perfect sense, right?
I like it.
You got Mick Conlon and Lee Wood about to fight for the featherweight strap, right? That Lee Wood beat Kanzu from. Mick Collins went to Chicago. The Irish came out for him, and if I'm not, that had to been like maybe his second or third fight.
Yeah, that was at the UIC Pavilion.
Yeah, that was at the UIC Pavilion.
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, that would be a mega fight. That would be a mega fight in Chicago. If you're talking stateside, outside of New York, that's the only.
Katy's got to perform. She got to look good against Serrano because the public won't let that fight go. If it's a split decision, they're gonna want to see it again.
Right.
So she's gonna have to do that clean. And I don't know. I mean, shout out to Serrano's. I don't know. Shout out to Jordan. Like that's gonna be a crazy fight. I don't know. I mean, I hope an awesome fight. And I hope we can move on from the Katy scenario, good or bad. Let's just move on from it. But I'd like to see Jess either go for a third weight class division or fight Serrano.
But that's the Jonas fight.
Or Hannah Rankin. I'd rather fight Hannah.
Oh, Hannah's got 2 belts.
Yeah, I'd rather fight Hannah, right? I mean, so
But
and it's a common opponent with Shields.
Yeah.
And someone else, right? Marshall.
Yes,
Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and this is no disrespect to any of those girls, man. Shout out to all those girls. I want female boxing to grow, and hopefully all those girls can join the league at some point.
Like, if you're on our radar, that just means you're doing something. You're doing something.
And vice versa, But I'm happy.
Yeah. I got one more thing. Can you show me your hat? Can we get
sorry.
Yo, I've been asking you about that.
The release of this hat is coming out this weekend in Chicago. Yeah, they zooming in. Right. It's coming out in Chicago. Rick is the only person to have the #1 Sox hat. There's a limited amount of Sox hats with the #1 on
they
it.
had to get it approved from the Chicago White Sox. We wore it for the last fight against Katy.
For the Vegas fight,
Shout out to Kenny
So I got a meet and greet at Grandstand this Saturday.
So wait, your hat is being made by the White Sox?
It got approved by the White Sox because
you can't just print any number.
Yeah, the White Sox don't let you print any number. So shout out to Grandstand in Chicago and Bridgeport, and they're gonna release the hat this Saturday. So you could cop it.
Nice.
And there's gonna be a.
So is this the Rick Ramos edition?
Pretty much, yeah.
I put the hat on. And Jess threw the first pitch out at the White Sox game. Shout out to the White Sox.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we got Southside love. So it's a meet and greet. I'm signing autographs. We're taking $25 donation. Those donations are going straight to the McCaskill Literacy Fund. I buy books for kids at my old schools. The areas are still impoverished, and these kids literally don't have books at home. So they're going home with a brand new book every month, and I'm talking about every single kid in the school is going home with a brand new book. So that money is going straight to that.
That's huge. No, definitely shout out to you. Let me tell you how huge that is. I'm not sure how familiar, Rick, you are with Chicago rappers, but there's a rapper from the South Side, G Herbo, and he was notorious for the White Sox hats, just like Jay was with the Yankees hats.
Yeah.
Herb was and still is notorious for the White Sox hat. And they try to do a deal like, I mean, he's one of the biggest names in the city for sure, especially now. And the White Sox was like, nah, we're good. You get what I'm saying? Same with Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper was trying to do his shit with the. So for you to get that done, that's huge. Like, that is huge. I'm a 7th and 3/8. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
And
So Margarito champion did have to weigh 150. Pacquiao still came in lower though.
And Margarito was champion, right?
Margarito was the champion.
Yeah.
That was his belt.
Yeah, but obviously he got compensated well, and obviously for us to fight at 144, we want to be compensated.
No, and obviously Chantel Cameron isn't fucking Pacquiao.
Right. So. I mean, there's a price for everything, right? Like, if anyone comes in with the right price and it's doable and we're safe, I say we do it. You know what I mean? Or at least really talk about it and sit it down. I don't make the decisions for Jess. I tell her her options, and I'm like, yo, we
have
lose.
a lot of conversation.
We lose, we go there. We go if we win, we go this way. This is what happens if we lose. This is where our career goes. This is what happens if we win. This is where I think the money falls. And she'll be like,
Yeah,
all right.
he's not over here like gaslighting me. And I had to tell that to some of the other girls that just signed with him. Like, Rick is going to talk about losing. Don't let that mess your mind up, because we have to have a backup plan just in case to keep you on the same track so that you're not losing time, space, money, And so I'm like, if he says, you win, you go this way. And if he says you lose, don't turn the switch off. Don't freak out. He's probably the only person. Like, there's people that'll be in the corner and be like, you're winning the fight. No, he's not winning the fight. What are you talking about?
And the other thing that people don't ever mention, which sucks, like, I had some of the biggest female names in boxing call me and like talk about contracts and like their contracts and like
how is Jessica buying a house?
Yeah, how is she doing this and that? So like I did help out some fighters who are signed by big promotional companies get their deals and like guide them through it, what I thought they were worth and what I think that they should.
So pretty soon you're gonna have a advisory company, or you already? Is this already an LLC as a management company?
Rick Ramos Boxing is already an LLC,
But the management part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that word management. Manager. I don't really like it lately. I think, I'd rather advise or just be a part of or whatever, counsel or whatever.
Yeah, but all of that is in there, whether it's who you're training with, who you're sparring with,
it's all
what
about
you're
the contract.
eating, everything, yeah.
So I did want to ask, I know we cut this interview a long time ago, but I've been wanting to ask, are you guys partnered moving forward on the new fighters that you sign?
Yeah, like me and
by I mean you and him, you are you guys like, is it a partner company?
Jessica has a piece of Summerlin, and there's some fighters that I'm not sure if they'll go that far, so I'm like, I'll take that fighter myself because they're gonna need more work and more money spent, and I don't want.
But also, when we talk about partnering, like I throw money in, like I'll spend 500 GBP on your new outfit. I'll put money into the fighters, make them feel good. If we're going somewhere, I'm pulling out my card, for the travel, for the stay, whatever. Like I'm never gonna let him do this by himself. So that's why I invest.
And anyone, let's say Danny, let's say Ness, you're like, yo, I got this fighter, blah blah. I'll offer you, be like, yo, bro, you on? Like, I'll get you in. You want to help me manage him? Like, come in small. If you don't want to do the work, like, or if you're like, I don't know that much, just bring me the kid and I'll put you on small. Just take the ride with me. Mm-hmm. That's how generous I am. Like, I told my other fighters, I'm gonna sign fighters with you. I'm gonna sign fighters with you. I want to sign fighters with you. I want to sign fighters with everyone.
And that's also him like taking boxers and taking them outside of that little small idea of just being a boxer. Now you're going to be a manager. Now you're training. Now you're going to be able to make money outside.
Teaching them different revenue streams.
Yeah, I mean, now we have a relationship with ESBC. Shout out to ESBC. Shout out to Todd Grisham. Yeah. So like those relationships are getting bigger. And hopefully. The movie deal. Hopefully Jess gets a movie at some point, and just hopefully the networks keep building. And now we're gonna see, and you're gonna see, because we're in the same family. Like, we're gonna see a lot of work with Fight Stars, and I'm trying to sign more females. I like to sign 5 more females in the next week. So hit me up, and that's it. I'm trying to sign people.
Rick, obviously, no denying your part and your role and impact that you have in women's boxing, especially here stateside, just in general. Chicago, obviously, but I want to ask, what are some Chicago fighters, some guys that we should be on the lookout for, whether you're working with them or not?
Angel Barrera, he's a kid, 3-0. I tried to get him the Mark Castro fight. That we got close, and then I was told that the Castro camp was like, nah, this kid's too much. He's 3-0.
So he's an up and comer, Angel Barrera. There's another kid from downstate.
Mark Castro said he was too much.
His people. So I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? So that's a
So
fight.
Keith Connolly.
Is he? No.
Castro's with Connolly, no?
Get out of here.
I don't know.
I thought-
I didn't know that.
I thought
they came in
Castro was
from-
with Connolly.
I know he's with DAZN, but I didn't know he was with Keith.
Who else?
Not to not it doesn't mean he can't be with DAZN and Keith, because Keith had Jacobs on DAZN, but I didn't know that. That would be interesting.
Let me. I'm almost certain he's with Keith. But go ahead. Go ahead.
There was another
They
kid
moving
from
him slow though. How many fights he got?
Mark Castro, like 8, I think. 8, no.
I feel like he's on like every time we're at the zone, he's at the zone.
Yeah,
his
shout out to
dad.
him and his dad.
Yeah, we see
They're
him all the
good
time.
people. They're really good people, and they support us. Right before the last fight, they came in the locker room to wish Jess good luck. So shout out to Mark
That's what's
Castro.
up.
Good vibes.
I'm just trying to, get these young guys an opportunity, But
So do you not prefer men?
I do.
Did you just see the void? Is it like you seen the void in women's boxing and you knew you could
the girls
do what
show
you
up.
do?
I will say, like, I had all dudes in the beginning, and then like dudes listen to a certain point, and then like it's always like with dudes, man, it's a little difficult because it's always like 2 dudes in a room. It's always like who's tougher, who got the bigger dick, who this, who that. Like, yo, bro, I just want to win. I don't give a fuck about anything you just said. And some of these guys don't like to hear the truth, and I'm like, yo, I don't think that's a fight for you, and they get upset, So to answer your question, I do manage Matt Hambrook. He's a heavyweight. He's 1-0. He fights again May 6th. So lefty heavyweight. I do. Who else do I have? That's it right now, guys.
What about guys you don't have? I mean, there's obviously some names out there. I don't want to put any names out there because I'm just curious to see like who you feel like just out of
Train or to manage? I would rather train.
No. I'm just saying like what guys you don't work with from Chicago that you like to see. Guys that
like Josh Greer, awesome kid. Josh Greer has always supported us. Yeah. I used to have mad support. Nathan Gilmore.
Nate Gallimore.
Gallimore, sorry. Shout out to Nate. He's always been supportive. I like those guys. Those guys are good guys.
Alex Martin, he
shout out
has the
to Alex
WBC.
Martin.
Who's that, Blue Chip?
No. That's Ryan Martin.
Alex Martin, he's from the southeast side.
Yeah.
Good kid. He's always been good. Shout out to Mark Shears, his coach. Good guy.
Alex was trying to get that Ryan Garcia. He was trying to get that
no.
fight going. He's been out at camp training and just hoping to get
Those
that.
are all
but-
good guys. I
Yeah.
think they were just like, those guys were brought up like Kenny Sims. Kenny Sims is around. right?
Yeah, he's out here right now. I
Yeah.
was just with him the other night.
Shout out to Kenny Sims. Those guys are doing their thing,
Yeah.
So God bless those guys. And
There's a fight. There's a fighter who will be on the Shakur card
from Chicago.
from Chicago that you and I have spoke about. Antoine Cobb.
Oh, Antoine Cobb used to train at our gym with Montel back in the day. He's a
Was
bad
the kid
motherfucker.
that had the little the video crew and that guy? That
Was
he
he?
they did like a wasn't
Yeah, he was in the
homeless?
newspaper. I don't know if he was homeless. Was he homeless?
I don't know if I'm thinking about the same guy.
Yeah, I think so. Antoine Cobb is a bad motherfucker. He's a cool guy. He was with Montel for a minute. Montel Griffin.
he signed with Jay Prince and Shakur.
Yeah, shout out to JP because James Prince is my dude. Like, for real.
Okay, yeah.
Shout out to Sean Simpson. Sean Simpson, I think he's done fighting, but he was always
Yeah, that was sad, man.
Yeah.
That was sad. Obviously, he had like the Rock Nation deal for a little bit.
Yeah. That was dope. Like, I helped him with the Rock Nation deal with Jared Shaw and the Shaw family. Like, man, that's some dope
And
shit.
his father's good. Has always
Tony
been good
Simpson.
people to
Yeah.
me. But I was in the gym the day he was out here. The day he got hurt.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a sport that it's obviously a very dangerous sport. We just saw it in Chicago. That was the second fight he has fight. Patrick Day.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Patrick Day. So it's obviously a very unforgiving and very dangerous sport. But now definitely, a lot of names in Chicago.
Yeah.
And for me being from there, it's nice to see, obviously the success you guys have had. And even somebody like Antoine, like when he made his pro debut in Atlanta, I made sure I was in the building.
Yeah.
And that was really dope that Jay Prince actually brought in Kanye to watch.
Yeah.
So
Ringside? Yeah.
Kanye got there early too. Like Kanye was there right as Antoine got the knockout. So that was really
Yeah,
dope.
shout out to Kanye West.
So definitely shout out to Mr. West.
Yeah, I've been watching that documentary.
That
Or
other one just
that
came out
Netflix
yesterday.
is-
Yeah.
The new
Yeah.
one,
I haven't watched it.
I've
Yeah.
only watched the first episode, but I'm all in for sure.
Yeah.
But let's wrap up. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys. I appreciate you so much. It looks like Pat walked in, so I'm going to go eavesdrop some more Fight Stars news for what Rick got going on over here. But yeah, man, where could they find you guys again?
Jessica McCaskill, pretty much everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Yeah, and Rick Ramos Boxing on social media platforms as well.
I'm your co-host, Rinwalk Danny, on all platforms. And Mr. Nestor Gibbs, Nes GTO.
Yes.
For the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.